Can you tell me a story?
Sure. Once upon a time, a mom needed a new car.
Was she brave?
She was tired, mostly. But she went to Carvana.com and found a great car at a great price. No secret treasure map required.
Did you have to fight a dragon?
Nope, she bought it 100% online. From her bed, actually.
Was it scary?
Honey, it was as unscary as car buying could be.
Did the car have a sunroof?
It did, actually.
Okay, good story.
Car buying you'll want to tell stories about. Buy your car today on
Carvana.
Delivery fees may apply.
Most people don't realize how much their personal information is being bought and sold every day. Data brokers are making billions, pulling details about you from public records and the internet, and then packaging and selling it, usually without your consent. That's how your information lands in the hands of scammers, spammers, even stalkers. It's why you get endless robocalls and why ads seem to follow you everywhere. That's where Aura comes in. Aura actively removes your data from broker sites and keeps it off. They also instantly alert you if your information shows up in a breach or on the dark web. But Aura goes beyond data protection. With one app, you get a VPN, antivirus, password manager, spam call protection, dark web monitoring, and even up to $5 million in identity theft insurance. All backed by 24/7 US-based fraud support. Other companies might sell just credit monitoring or just a VPN. Aura gives you all of it, together, at the same price competitors charge for just one service. Start your free trial today at aura.com/remove. Protect yourself now at aura.com/remove.
My name is Tyler Fornes, and I am one of the co-hosts of The Good, The Bad, and The Hungy AEW podcast here on the Voice of Wrestling Podcasting Network. We take a broad scope approach to the world of All Elite Wrestling and the entire universe of Tony Khan. We talk about the big matches, the big stars, the promos, the storylines. And we also look at it from a big picture perspective. How are things going to change over the course of the next 10 years with AEW still in the picture? How are companies like WWE going to adapt and adjust to AEW? Are they going to be a similar way like they did with WCW in the late 1990s? Will there be a counterpunch? We talk about all of that and more on The Good, The Bad, and The Hungy every week on the Voice of Wrestling Network.
This podcast is a member of the Voices of Wrestling Podcasting Network. Visit voicesofwrestling.com to hear the rest of our great podcasts, as well as show reviews, columns, opinions, and updates across the world of wrestling.
What do you guys want to talk about?
You are listening to the Flagship Podcast with your hosts, Joe Lanza.
What has being annoying stopped you ever?
That's an excellent point. Right. An excellent point. That's part of the charm.
Rich Crage.
Corey Graves screaming, perfectly legal, Cole. You can do anything you want in tribal combat. It's perfectly legal. While Paul Heyman is just yelling, tribal combat, tribal combat, tribal combat, tribal combat, tribal combat. I'm like, God damn it. Fuck all of you. Fuck this.
And we are live on the Flagship Podcast. I am Rich. He is Joe. Joe, what's happening? I brought back the tribal combat intro from August of 2023 because we have a tribal combat coming up this weekend. I know you cannot wait for Clash in Italy.
There's a tribal. Oh yes, that's right. There's a tribal combat coming. Yeah,
the huge PLE. Come on, man.
In my homeland.
Yeah, in the motherland. Yeah.
I know all the Italians are very excited for Clash in Italy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm pinching my fingers now.
Yeah. Somewhere Vinny Massaro's joining you as well. Yeah, Clash in Italy. Yes. And I am not, I totally know which part of Italy this show is happening. And I am sure I am not Googling because the show is happening in Turin, Italy. Turin, Italy. You ever been to Turin?
Buddy, I haven't been east of north. You think I've been in Italy?
When are you going? When are you going? You call it the homeland, the motherland. I've been there. You haven't. When are you going to Italy, man?
Never. There's a big difference between Italians and Italian Americans. We just talk a bunch of shit, but we never actually go over there.
Right.
Come on. You kidding me?
I think you'd like it. I think you'd like it.
Yeah, maybe.
It's fun. A lot of walking, though. Public transportation. Not Joe Lanza's staples, unfortunately.
You're not tempting me.
No,
You're not exactly tempting me here.
Good food, though. Great food, obviously. So
I'm sure. We taught the world how to eat.
Yeah, you did. You did. Congratulations. Yeah, I did. You could see we went there on our honeymoon. It was like a year delayed honeymoon or whatever. And we went there, and you can see us just getting fatter as the trip goes on. Like the picture when we first arrived, and then like little by little, we're just getting more bloated and fat as the entire trip goes until the final day. And you're like, oh my God, what are you guys been doing the whole time? And it's like just eating, constantly just eating. It's you know,
gotta. What else? Didn't all that walking balance it out? No.
I thought so. Yeah, because we walked a shit ton, and it didn't matter. No, you could honestly. The problem also was like drinking with every meal was probably not good. A lot of casual drinking going on in the kingdom there, and the breakfasts are too like voluminous. Because every place we went to had like a breakfast buffet or whatever, and it's like it's not like you're shitty like an American hotel. If you go to a shitty American hotel, it's like some freeze-dried eggs and like a stale bagel and like a cup of Dannon strawberry yogurt or whatever. Just the horrible like sometimes you'll get like the hard-boiled eggs or whatever, and they're just sitting in this refrigerator, and you're like, I'm not eating that shit. Like,
make your own waffle,
right? To make your own waffle kit, like typical Holiday Inn Express, continental breakfast,
the mini box of Frosted Flakes. With
right. It's always got that little spinner thing, and there's a thing of Frosted Flakes, a thing of mini wheats, and you can never get the mini wheats out of the fucking thing because it's that little turn thing, and it just rips them up. And when it's in your bowl, you're like, what the fuck? This is not even. Why would you put mini wheats in these things? I can't. Like, and then the other one's Fruit Loops.
It's like a coffee grinder.
It's like a coffee grinder. Yeah, and it's like
grinds them up.
Yeah, and then like of all the cereals to put in there, you put in the largest like chunked cereal in there, and it just destroys them. Like, the Fruit Loops get through, the Frosted Flakes get through, the mini wheats don't get through. So so you're like, oh yeah, I should get some mini wheats. I haven't had those in a while, and you're like, it's just like now I have this bowl of fucking
mini wheat
shreds.
Dust.
Yeah, what the hell am I doing here? But
when you're at when you're empty the box when your box of mini wheats is empty and it's just the dust at the bottom. That's what you're grinding into your.
And
bowl.
You're trying to decide if it's worth even pouring into the bowl. And honestly, like if you have a little bit of milk left, it's not the worst idea to kind of toss it in there, stir it up a little bit, and
it's always unsatisfying.
It is. It never feels as you're like, oh, this will be a good way to finish off the meal, and you're like, it's kind of because it's not crunchy. It just turns into kind of drinking just shavings of mini wheats. That's no good. That's no fun. But all the buffets there were like meats and cheeses and breads and like full ass like meals for breakfast. So that was and it's free. So I was going to get down on that. So
well, of course. Well, there's a whole new TikTok trend.
Oh no!
Of people walking into hotels in their pajamas and perpetrating like they're guests for that free breakfast that you just described. For the waffle maker and the shavings of mini wheats and
it's not a bad. Yeah, I mean I get it because it's not a bad idea. Dannon
yogurts and everything else.
The small little cups and it's only strawberry Dannon, maybe peach, maybe strawberry, maybe peach, but it's not unsatisfying yogurt too.
Right. So that's a new TikTok trend
I've
seen.
How do you know about TikTok trends?
On the TikTok.
Who keeps you in the loop on TikTok trends?
Well, they pop up on Twitter,
Oh, okay.
So
it's all the different generations because I know I have a buddy who will tell me about all the TikTok stuff that he watches. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, do you have TikTok? He's like, well, no, I watch him on Instagram. And I'm like, okay,
exactly. It pops up in other places.
And he's like 10 years younger than you, and you're like, oh yeah, all the TikTok trends. I see them on Twitter. Yeah, I wasn't sure if the kids were keeping you abreast, but they're probably a little too young for the TikTok, right?
They don't have phones. No,
yeah, that's good.
No phones.
When are you planning on introducing phones, or are you just going to pretend that it doesn't, like, hope it lasts forever? Because they're young. They're too young to have like phones for any real reason right now.
They haven't asked. He's only 9.
Yeah.
She's 10, and some of her friends have them.
Mm-hmm.
She brought it up once, and I just said, no, absolutely not. Get out of my face. It's not going to happen. She has an iPad that she can call TLB on.
Okay.
It's on the same, however the fuck that works. So she'll come home from school, and the first thing she does is she gets on her iPad and calls TLB at work, and they FaceTime
through like the Wi-Fi, right? Because it doesn't have cell signal; it has Wi-Fi or whatever.
Right. So when she's in the house or whatever, or has any kind of Wi-Fi, she can she can call Brittany at work and FaceTime with her. So she does that after school. But she's they're not going to have phones for a long time. They can hate us all they want. We're not going to do that.
No, they should. They'll thank you later. They will thank you later in life for sure. I know they have some of those like they have kind of the dumb phones or whatever. There's a better name for them, but ones where you basically it has like basic functionalities. You can call your parents.
Yeah, they're not going to want that.
They'll know. I always see those advertised, and I'm like, your kid's going to know. I'm like, fuck off. No, I'm not taking this. Just give me no phone then. I'm not taking this dollar store phone. Yeah.
Well, A, it doesn't do anything.
Right.
B, their friends are going to make fun of them for having that, so they're not going to want that. You know what I mean? Like they can't show their friends their kid phone. Because then their friend with the iPhone is going to make fun of them. So you're just setting up your kid to get picked on if you get them that phone.
Yeah. Right. It's probably better to have nothing instead of.
It is. It's better to have nothing. It's better for them to go tell their friends, my parents are assholes, and they won't get me a phone.
Yeah, I ask all the time, but they're assholes, and they won't give it to me. Yeah.
Right.
Oh. Yeah, stay strong. I always wonder about parents. It's like, when do you decide to make that move of get them a phone? Because it's over then. It's over.
I would say, here's what's going to happen. Once they can afford it themselves, we might break. Or once it becomes a matter of they're out and about so much that we're now kind of worried. You see what I mean? That might be the point. But as like a 10 or 11-year-old, just to fuck around with their friend, there is no chance. That's not
just sit at home in their room and fuck around on the phone.
Yeah, there's 0% chance of that. You'd be surprised. There's kind of an iron fist around here. Recently I did a wholesale banning of YouTube because I was tired of the boy in particular just rotting in his room watching other people play video games on those awful streams. So I just took YouTube off of every device in the house.
Look at you.
And it actually, it has worked because he has expanded his horizons. He's actually, he's going on. Now here's what I did though. I gave him a bunch of other shit on his TV. I put the Disney Plus on there. I put all the Netflix with the kid account. And now he's like watching kid appropriate shit on Disney Plus all the time. So it worked because he can't get to it because I took it off of everything. He thought he could sneak it on his Switch. Nah, I took it off of the Switch.
He thought of everything, yeah.
He thought it, yeah, I'm checking. He sees that I check it. Like every 2 days, I'm like, bring me your Switch. Because he's a little sneak, So, it works. Massive improvements with the shit that he's consuming.
Well, that's good.
So.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, watching, that's something I will never...
It's just total brain rot.
Yeah, I just can't get behind the watching other people play video games. It's always... been tough for me to understand it. And like there's times where I've watched streams, of course, but there are people that will that's what they'll only watch. Like I have one of my friends children watches people sing happy birthday to people, so it's just like all they watch is other people having birthday parties all the time. Like all day, every day.
People will watch anything.
Yeah, and I'm like, what in the world? It's just like, I'm just look at their, they'll be playing on their iPad and I'll just look and it's just like another family having a birthday party. And I'm like.
Yeah, that seems innocent enough, but it's weird.
But then that's all you watch? Or like, and then it's just the family. The problem is you got the family vloggers or whatever, and that stuff's very weird. Have you ever gotten into that world?
No, but I know what you're referring to.
Where it's just like these families that they'll track everything. Like going to the hospital, I am having a miscarriage, and it's like, whoa, you don't need to put that on like YouTube. You, for God's sakes, handle that on your own. Like you don't have to make that like a content, and it's just nonstop. I know that there was a I think was it an Instagram person? This was like a couple of months ago where they took a photo of like their baby's hand, and it was like, oh, like my baby died today. And it's like, why did you post that on? The way they did it was just like really scummy, and everyone was like, dude, come on, like you're being really scummy about this. Like, for God's sakes. But yeah, some of those family things, it's just like, imagine going on your family vacation and the whole time you're just holding up a device and filming your family going down a water slide. It's like, come on, no, get out of here.
You're holding it on a stick.
Yeah,
and you're getting mad at people walking. Yeah, just come on. Yeah,
it's so great. And then you'll see people like out and about doing it. Like you'll go to a place and you go to a water park and you see this like a family, like a mom who's like vlogging. It's like, what are you doing?
They don't want to be in the moment, man.
I know, it's really sad. Yeah.
Yeah, it's I'm not going to sit here and pretend I'm not addicted to my phone like everybody else.
No, of course we are.
But I can honestly say I don't think my wife is. Like if we're out together, like sometimes she leaves her phone like in the car.
Yeah, that boggles my mind. Yeah, because I have that like phobia. Like every time I have to get out of the car, where's my phone?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I forgot it. Like, what if somebody needs me in the 25 minutes we're at this restaurant? They never do.
Well, because then I'll realize she didn't have it all that time. I'm like, you didn't have your phone on you? She's like, you have yours. Who cares? I'm like, all right, I wish I could live like that.
I know.
That's awesome. She doesn't fucking need it. She doesn't do the doom scroll, or she does. I guess she just doesn't need to. She doesn't have that addiction.
She can turn it off anytime she needs to. Yeah, that's good. Because I'm starting to realize that I probably should temper it a little bit because the baby he'll see me on my phone, and he'll look at it now, and then he starts to grab it and like try to, and I don't want him to, immediately say, yeah, give me that. Oh, that looks cool. Oh, what are you doing? Like, I'll be scrolling on it while I'm feeding him, and I notice his eyes are watching the screen, and I'm like, okay, no, put that away.
Well, listen, I think one of the big reasons that parents give in and get their kids phones is because they're tired of giving their kids their phones.
Yes.
To fuck around, play games, use, the apps or whatever. And then there's fuck this. I'm just going to get them a phone. She does give them her phone a lot. Because, again, she's not addicted to it. So if they're like, oh, let me have your phone, she'll just give it to, and I'm like, I never give them my phone. First of all, if they press the wrong thing, they're going to be scarred for life.
If they hit camera,
that's number one.
If they hit the camera app and then swipe a couple times, it could get real dicey real fast.
You can forget it. Like, that, they're,
more of mom than they've ever wanted to see.
Absolutely.
Too much of mom, yeah.
More dad, to be honest. But yes, there is...
It's not mom I'm worried about, it's dad. Yeah.
A lot of selfies, but not on my face. Yeah, so but even if that wasn't the case, which it absolutely is, I would never give them my phone. There's not a chance. It's like, no, I'm not even starting that habit. Get your grubby hands off of there. But she will give it to them, and then the girl will run off in her room with it and FaceTime with her friend, and it's like, well, now like she has a phone then, like why you see? So that's how I think
our hardline approach is being lost here. If now she just has a phone whenever she wants it. Now
she just has a phone. She has your phone, So it's like I think that's what happens in a lot of cases, and then you just give in because you're tired of not having your phone.
Yeah,
because your kid has your phone. So
there you go, little parenting talk from the flag. See, we've progressed. Well, we haven't progressed that much. You're talking about your dick pics on so we haven't, in the years that we've done this show, we've only progressed somewhat, but that's all right. That's fine. Yeah, we don't have to grow up and change. Been doing this thing
when
for
I realize
too long.
I don't even show those to like my wife. They're like for me. I'm just like
just to check on how things are looking, or
I'm like, wow, this
or
is
you're just like feeling particually good about how things are going that day.
Like, I'll be like, "Ooh, this is a healthy day. Let me preserve this memory."
Looking pretty good.
This is I haven't had a 98%er in a while. This is, all right.
You still got it, Joe. You still got it. Yeah.
Extra throbby today. All right, let me take a picture of that.
Yeah, because I was going to ask, like, because if she's giving the phone to the kids, but you didn't seem as worried about that, but apparently they're just staying on your camera roll then.
Yeah, I mean,
are you like showing her later? Are you like scrolling?
Sometimes.
Okay, you're like, hey, take a look at this guy. 2 p.m. earlier today. Look what was happening over here.
Yeah. Or like as a gag, if she's at work, maybe I'll send it. But like, there's definitely most of the time, like 70% of the time, I don't even think I ever even show her. Like it's just for me. Now that I think about it.
There's something going on there. I don't know. Yeah, a therapist might want to take a look at that, but it's all right.
And then like 6 months later, I'm disgusted with myself, and I'm deleting 58 pictures. It's just I'm like, why is this on here?
No, you're proud of what you got. So
yeah, well, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, there's something going on there. I don't know what it is, but. That's fine. But we'll talk about Clash in Italy later. That's not right now. We'll get to Clash in Italy later. I know you're all waiting for our preview of the WWE, the newest WWE Premium Live event on ESPN Unlimited. By the way, real quick, and then we can move on to previewing the rest of the show. There's a weird, like ESPN's being very weird about WWE now, and on SiriusXM, I have like ESPN radio on it or whatever. They have been earnestly talking about WWE. Like I forget the name of the show that I listen to in the morning sometimes, Undisputed or something like that. And they're having like earnest WWE discussions on that show, like on a daily basis at this point. So I don't know if like ESPN wants people to really start watching this shit, or I don't know what it is. But it's very strange how often they're like, and they're having like actual sports discussions about professional wrestling, and it makes me very sad that that's happening.
Well, I mean, you could look at it two ways. It's either not doing as well as they thought, and they're trying to get people to get into this, or it is doing well, and that's why they're giving it attention. Based on everything we know about how WrestleMania did, it doesn't seem like it's doing particularly well. They're not bragging about how well it's doing, which is always the biggest tip-off. We talked about that a couple of weeks ago. So maybe they're just trying to drum up interest. I mean,
that's what I thought. Yeah, because the way that they were discussing it was because they were also always like couching it with like, well, I know that there's a PLE this weekend called Clash in Italy, because they were having an earnest discussion. It's like Evan, Canty, and Michelle, I think is the name of the show. I don't know if it's called Undisputed or whatever, but they were having like an earnest discussion. It was awful, and I couldn't believe I kept listening to it because I was like, this is actually happening on ESPN radio. Like, God forbid somebody is listening. Like if my dad was still alive and listened to ESPN radio, he'd be, well, he probably is spinning in his grave listening to ESPN radio, like earnestly discuss WWE PLEs. Because like the idea, they were like having a discussion like, yeah, so Cody said his top 4 WWE PLEs are WrestleMania, Survivor Series, Money in the Bank, and Royal Rumble, and like I disagree. I think SummerSlam's got to be in there. They're like having a discussion about this, and I'm like, what is happening? This is on ESPN radio, for God's sakes. Like, talk about baseball, like talk about the MLB or something. What are you doing? Like, you can't be talking about your top 4 WWE PLEs every year like that. What are we?
That's definitely mandated.
I thought
topic
so.
Of conversation. It has to be. You know, it has to be.
Well, because then, like I said, they're like, well, I mean, I don't know. Clash in Italy is coming up this weekend, and maybe that's going to be, added to the list. Or, it was very weird the way that it felt like an advertisement. And
didn't feel like natural conversation.
No.
Because you can always tell by the way they pronounce certain words. And it's like, you can tell it's coming off a sheet.
Yeah, it felt like it was on a sheet that said, guys, you have to at least for 15 minutes discuss the top 4 WWE PLEs every year or whatever.
Yes,
and they're like, oh, God.
And if they're specifically calling it WWE Clash in Italy, presented by, that they're just, they're reading it off a sheet. It doesn't sound like a casual conversation.
No. And I don't know if you've seen, but like awfulannouncing.com and some of those websites that cover sports media have been losing their mind about how much WWE is on ESPN.
Yeah.
Because it's like a lot. And I know that Awful Announcing, I forget the guy's name, Ben Koo, I believe, is the owner of Awful Announcing, and he's been doing a lot of articles about it because when they were in the lead up to WrestleMania, like it was overdrive. Like they had a wrestler on every single freaking episode of SportsCenter. Every show had somebody, and they're still doing it. And those guys are like, okay, we thought it was like a WrestleMania thing, and we all kind of let it go because it was like, all right, fine, it's WrestleMania, it's the big show. But like we're doing the shit for Clash in Italy. Like we can't be having Danhausen on like NFL Live or whatever. Like, what are we doing here? This is really This has really gotten like Danhausen doing like Nick's segments.
Yeah,
it's it's kind of
Awful Announcing used to be loaded with WWE loons on their staff too, but I don't think a lot of them are there anymore. I'm not talking about I'm not talking about.
Oh, there was that one guy. What was his name? I know exactly what you're talking about.
He was a It's Bailey super fan. Yes. That guy?
Yes.
And he was one of those WWE loons on Twitter who was an It's Bailey super fan. And he got, a gig on Awful Announcing for a while. And he would just write these WWE puff pieces and a lot of anti-AEW stuff in the early days. He hasn't been there in a while. And then the other guy, is it Ben Axelrod?
Ben Axelrod, I think, is the name you're thinking of. The name. Let me make sure that was who was at Awful Announcing, but that makes sense.
He's not nearly as shameless as that guy was, but clearly a fan. So my point here is they've got fans over there. So for them to be highly critical of this, does say something.
I think it's just they're just weirded out by how much ESPN is covering wrestling. I think it's one thing to do a little segment here and there, but it's been like. Yeah, very a clear directive to get as much WWE content on there as possible, which is strange because it felt like for a while there was nothing. But that might be to your point, and that's probably what it is. And that's kind of where I stand as well, is that the numbers are probably not very good, and we're in a downtime for sports. There's not that much to talk about. Now, I disagree. There's the NBA Finals, the NHL Stanley Cup Finals, and I don't know, baseball.
A lot going on.
And a lot of good tennis and a lot of big-time college baseball. There's plenty of stuff to talk about, but we know ESPN, if it's not LeBron or the NFL, they're kind of at a loss for how to cover sports. So I guess they have filled that gap with fat bit WWE talk.
I think the It's Bailey fan was Chris Novak, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, that name rings a bell. I remember Axelrod for sure. That name. I don't know if Novak rings a bell.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was his. That was who it was. No, I don't think he was just some Twitter guy, and somehow he ended up on Awful Announcing.
It's Bailey superfan.
He was.
An adult male. It's Bailey superfan. Yeah.
They all had their favorite divas, or I guess they weren't divas anymore. They were. Didn't they drop that verbiage?
They did. They were
around
just,
that.
They were
around
just
that
plain
time.
old women, I think. Yeah. Although they have to dance around it when they talk about Paige, because she's not a WWE women's champion.
She was definitely a diva.
Divas champion, so they have to say diva champion.
But when Stephanie McMahon invented women's wrestling, they dropped the divas verb.
Correct. Yeah. Hashtag give women a chance or whatever from AJ Lee, who the trailblazer, who trailblazed women's wrestling, one of the 15 or 20 trailblazers of women's wrestling. Yeah,
that's right. That's right. Many trailblazers.
Ivory and
very wide
Tori Wilson and Michelle McCool and Trish Stratus and Lita, Beth Phoenix, Barbara Bush.
They all blazed the trail.
Candice Michelle, AJ Lee, Paige.
Cherry,
yeah, Cherry, of course, yes. Cherry.
She blazed it on roller skates.
She did. Deuce Domino and Cherry, yeah.
That's right. Yes. Tamina Snuka, Blazing Trails.
Yeah.
What happened to Tamina Snuka? She
just
kind of literally slowly disappeared.
Yeah, is she I never remember her being released.
I don't remember her being released.
Yeah.
Did they ever release Tamina Snuka?
I don't know. Find out. Tamina Snuka. I can't imagine she's still getting a paycheck, right?
I forgot she existed until this very moment.
Yeah. Did she ever get an irony she's good actually?
I can't imagine she got one.
She is still signed to World Wrestling Entertainment. Holy crap.
Yeah, they're not going to get rid of her. The Rock will blow a gasket. They can't.
When has she...
That's
she was removed from WWE's active roster in July of 2024, but remains signed to the company.
Yeah, look.
What a gig.
Hey, when you know the disruptor, why not? I mean, what's the point of having power if you can't exploit it to help your family and your blood? What? I don't even know if it's real family, but I guess they're considering themselves family. What if you can't exploit that? Why even have the power? Get paid to do nothing.
It's incredible. Yeah, when's the last time she wrestled? Let me see. Tamina Snuka. What if you had to take a guess? I know you're a big Tamina Snuka. You've been staying up on her career
or something. I don't.
2022. She last wrestled February 27, 2023.
There you go.
Lost to Michin on an episode of Main Event. The week prior, she lost. She teamed with Dana Brooke. And they lost to Candice LeRae and Michin. It was not a championship match, though. So
championship.
It wasn't a
championship.
For the future Ash by Elegance, yeah.
Yeah. She doesn't really have that accent anymore. I don't know what happened.
No, because she kind of lost it, yeah. No. Because remember that one time? No, remember that one time she did guest commentary for TNA?
Yeah, when she was retired.
Her 6-month retirement. Yeah, it was... It came out. I think she tries not to have it, but when she does promos, I think they're rehearsed and she thinks about it in her head. She probably thinks about her accent or whatever, but you could definitely tell in when she was there doing the commentary. It came out a little bit. The Dana Brooke. Although she's just from Ohio, I think.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's a...
Wow.
Anyway. Probably too much WWE to start our show with. All right. We are going to talk about a wide range of topics tonight on this here flagship. We're going to preview this weekend's big AAA show. Yes, AAA. I guess it will be on Fox Latin America, but it will also be on YouTube. Of course, it'll also be on YouTube. So it's a big time show, big build. One of the biggest feuds in wrestling right now. And I don't know how or why, but it is. So we got to cover it. We got to talk about it. a big AAA show.
Well, the how and the why is there's WWE mutants in Mexico that are AAA mutants. That's why.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, answered it. Yeah, asked and answered. WWE Clash in Italy. Of course, we'll preview that show. We got the return of MLW, Joe, this weekend. It's finally back.
Liar.
What?
I don't believe you're a liar.
This weekend, the 2-hour premiere of MLW Fusion. It'll be on VEEPS. You're not going to watch it on VEEPS, and I'll discuss why you're not going to watch it on VEEPS, but it'll be on VEEPS.
Like Ron Burgundy, I don't believe you.
That's going to be on VEEPS, or that it's coming back?
That it's coming back.
That's back.
I don't believe you.
It's back. I got matches. I got people in action. I got a press conference. I got
all right.
A revelation about Don Gatto. We got all that coming up this weekend. It's a big time show. 2 hour. I feel like I know we're not going to watch the weekly MLW fusions, but I feel like we should watch the 2-hour premiere. Or 2 hour. He's calling it a premiere, even though Fusion's been on 1,000 times. A 2 hour
and never
return.
Stopped running.
Yeah, right.
Never
Like I'm calling it a return, but on MLW's website it is a premiere. So
I gotta admit, I'm real sick of this guy.
Come on. It's endearing. Oh, come on. You gotta like it.
I don't find it endearing anymore. I'm kind of sick of this Court Bauer. He's so full of shit.
So you're not excited about VEEPS?
I don't know what the fuck that is.
We'll talk about it later.
VEEPS?
VEEPS.
What, like VEEPS?
Yep, all caps. VEEPS.
This is not the Julia Louis-Dreyfus gimmick?
It is not not the Julia Louis-Dreyfus vehicle. No, it is a separate thing called VEEPS. And MLW is on it.
If you say so.
It's the new home of Fusion, even though it's not the home because it's on BN and it's on YouTube, and it airs later on VEEPS than it does on YouTube. So I don't know what would possess anybody to use VEEPS and not YouTube, but
but I thought it was on YouTube at 6:05.
But it is.
But it's also on VEEPS?
It's also on VEEPS. At like 9.
All right, I guess we should save it for the segment.
Right, we'll talk VEEPS. All the VEEPS talk you could possibly look for will be happening here.
Great.
Yeah,
Great.
I know. You can't wait. Bushiroad sold shares of New Japan Pro Wrestling. We'll talk about that, I guess. A little story to bring up at some point. A seismic shift in the business of professional wrestling. So suppose we should probably talk about that at some point on the show. But I want to start off real quickly here with the fallout from Double or Nothing, this weekend's Double or Nothing pay-per-view. We are not going to review that on this show. We are not going to review it match by match. We're not going to talk about the show because we reviewed it technically twice, or I guess you and I both reviewed it, but not together. So for those that were not around, Instant Reaction Live this past weekend for AEW Double or Nothing, I could not make the show. Something came up last minute, like very, very, very last minute, like as last minute as you could possibly have, and I wasn't able to make the show, but you were able to make some calls. Got friends in high places, or as you said, friends in low places, which I was trying to figure out the Garth Brooks joke that was coming up, and then I realized that the man you were introducing's last name was Low. Because I was listening, and I'm like, I don't like Garth. Is he going to make like a what was Garth Brooks's alternative rock gimmick for a while? Do you remember that? Chris Barnes or Chris Haynes or what the hell was it?
His alter ego he did with the hair in his face.
Yes.
Chris Gaines.
Chris Gaines. I thought it was like a long drawn out Chris Gaines joke, and I'm like, I don't know where Joe's going here, but then he was introducing special guest Case Low from Open the Voice Gate and Q101, who jumped on the show and did Instant Reaction Live with you. 2.5 hour recap and review. A very good show. Very fun show. A lot of off-topic stuff, too, discussing Case's various dates, Case's swing and spring and summer that he's been having. So I enjoyed that. It was a very good show. Then you also talked about the pay-per-view as well. So a 2.5 hour recap and review of Double or Nothing. And then since I wasn't able to make it, and by the way, that show is available exclusively on the $10 tier at flagshippatreon.com. But since I couldn't make the Instant Reaction Live, but I watched the entire show, I came back the very next morning and did instant-ish reaction to the show. And that is on the $5 tier at flagshippatreon.com. And that was about an hour and a half of me discussing my thoughts on the show. So we covered it as much as you could possibly cover it, from every single match, all the pre-show, all the big news, all that sort of stuff. So we're not going to do it on this show, but I at least wanted to talk about some of the fallout from the show. And one thing I did want to, there was a couple topics I wanted to get to since you and I weren't able to kind of talk about it on Sunday night. What the Kevin Knight heel turn? I thought it was great. I thought it came across well. I thought it was a very, like, in the pantheon of heel turns. I'm not gonna, because I don't really like calling anything like the greatest heel turn of all time until we know what that, what's gonna.
Whoa!
Oh, it's not. No, it's not.
Hold on a second. You're a podcast host. You have to have extreme opinions on everything, Rich.
You're
Grich.
right. This Kevin Knight heel
talking
turn
about?
is the greatest heel turn of all time.
Or it's the worst you've ever seen.
Or it sucks, and I can't believe they did that.
Correct. So which is
Shit. The greatest, I guess, between those two, I guess the greatest of all time. But I thought it went across quite well. I thought it was a very good heel turn. I like how quickly it all happened. And you and I have both been pretty high on Kevin Knight for years now, so I thought it was a really good time to turn him, and I'm really excited about the prospects of it. And I thought he did a great promo on Dynamite this week too. I was happy with that. So the whole thing has been great so far.
Yeah, I talked about his Dynamite promo. I don't know why I just screamed yeah right there. I talked about his Dynamite promo on the Thursday Dynamite review earlier today, exclusively on the $5 tier behind this very paywall. And I also have to say that, look, I've been accused today of not covering the entire Dynamite show on the review because this was another one of those 3-hour blocks, Rich Craich, last night, where it was 2 hours of Dynamite and an hour of Collision. And I definitely knew that. I was fully aware that it was once again one of these 3-hour blocks. And it wasn't that I didn't know that there was an hour of Collision that aired last night. I am going to review Collision on the Friday Collision review, which will be out tomorrow morning, which was definitely my intent because I definitely knew that it was a 3-hour block last night. Okay, got it. So for anyone worrying, questioning why I didn't review the entire 3-hour block on the Thursday Dynamite review earlier this afternoon, but I did review the 2 hours of Dynamite, and I did talk about that Kevin Knight heel promo, which I thought was one of the most important promos of his career.
The most, for sure.
Of his career, and I thought he did okay. I still don't think he's a great promo, and there's a lot of what I said this afternoon on the review, but it seems like he has the tools to potentially be a good or great promo someday. Right now, to me, though, he's just an average promo. But I don't think he died out there. I don't think he choked out there. I think he got his point across, and I thought it was an adequate heel promo.
Yeah, I think using the term great, I don't know, like in a pantheon of great promo, I think maybe I should have prefaced great promo by like what I think he needed to do for that spot. You know what I mean? Like that I had that very nervousness that he was going to do. I did it because of each and every one of you and you people, and you people never believed in me or whatever. And he didn't do that, which was really good. He kind of avoided the easiest trope in a modern heel turn is just go, you people, you didn't believe in me, and I don't need to do anything for you. You know, it didn't do. That's more of a WWE thing. AEW really hasn't had many of those promos. There's been a couple. Like Statlander has had one or two of those in her 15 different character traits and switches and stuff. Who, by the way, she's like underrated as like one of the worst characters in that company's history. She's always, it's always a mess with her. Always a mess.
Yeah, well, I was told she finally wrestled Hikaru Shida last night on the Collision that I definitely knew was happening and I didn't watch on purpose. Right, which I'll watch tonight and then review tomorrow. But
you got a 2-hour Collision this weekend too.
Wait, they're doing one on Saturday too?
Yeah.
Then why'd they do one last night at the end of Dynamite?
I don't know.
Why are they like this? Why did we need 3 hours last night if they're doing a show on Saturday?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah, because I thought
really
that
doing a show on Saturday.
Yeah, live too.
Okay, but from Huntsville. But they called the third hour last night Collision.
Correct.
So the third hour last night was classified as a Collision.
Correct.
But they're doing 2 more hours of Collision on Saturday.
Yes. And I don't know why. No.
See,
I guess because they missed an hour last week, so they're catching up.
Maybe they didn't do it. That's right. They only did 1 hour last
Saturday because they were avoiding. Okay, so that's it. That's it.
So they only had 1 hour last week. So the hour tacked on this week must have been to make good for the hour missing last week. But see, I knew that they were doing Saturday, so I had no idea there was a third hour last night. So after the baseball, I put on Max to watch Dynamite, but they split it, Dynamite Collision. So I watched it on Max, and then it just ended after the fucking main event or whatever. And I thought that was it. I didn't even know there was a Collision.
They didn't say, hang around for a Collision next. Yeah.
Maybe. I don't really pay attention
to
what,
I don't remember.
Like commentators I like turn them off in my head sometimes. I don't even hear what they're saying half the time. That's just a bad habit of mine. I don't know why that happens, but half the time I don't even hear what they're saying. Because people will be like, oh man, that commentary during that match, I can't believe you didn't talk about that. And I'm like, I don't even remember what they were saying. It's just a weird thing. I don't know. So if they were plugging Collision all night, and I'm sure that they were, and everyone's going to yell at me, okay, guilty as charged, I guess. They didn't make it very obvious, though, because I had no idea. I thought the show was over when the show was over. So I've got to go watch the dopey 1 hour Collision after we're done here. This is going to be like when I was doing Impact for a while there, right? The long Thursday nights where I would finish this.
Do you remember Impact? Do you remember Impact on AMC? What a show that was back in the day.
Yeah, and then I'd go watch that for 2 hours. Then I would do that review, and then I'd have some really long Thursdays. So that's going to be what today is, because now I'm going to go back and watch that stupid 1 hour Collision, and you're going to get a Friday Collision review on the $5 tier.
Look at that. There it is. FlagshipPatreon.com.
Yes.
Good stuff there. But I thought the Kevin Knight heel turn went well. Other big picture stuff. I mean, I know you talked with Case a lot about it, and I talked about it too. The Darby title switch. We kind of, if you listen to our preview last week, you and I think had both kind of gotten to the point of you always want to make sure that you have the title switch happen, or you have the title reign end before it's too late. You want to end at the peak. And I don't know that Darby peaked. I'm not sure, but I think that they had probably made the decision that instead of waiting to see if we can get another month out of this Darby thing, let's just pop it here. Let's just end it here and move on. Start really earnestly building to Wembley, getting things together. Like, I'm fine with that. We'll talk about the business side of the show here in a second, but that went well, so you might want to say, well, maybe there was more to this Darby title reign. Maybe you could have kept it going, but I think
peaked it perfectly.
I agree, and I 100% agree. I think they nailed it exactly
just at the right
point.
time.
Yeah,
just at the right time. Yeah. So, and I thought last night the big key to last night was there was like a half a dozen fresh new directions all over up and down the card. So nearly every act on the card has a fresh new direction. So that was really the key to last night's Dynamite.
All right, so
the pay-per-view.
So on my reaction show, I talked about the cage match rating for Double or Nothing, which was charting at the greatest wrestling show ever. It was only behind the Hana Kimura tribute show and the Brody Lee tribute show. It has since dropped a little bit, but not that much actually. So it is. Let's see where it's at right now as of this show. Okay, so it is still very high. It is still the highest AEW pay-per-view of all time.
Wow.
It has now fallen below. Okay, so number one is the Mr. Brody Lee life, the celebration of Mr. Brody Lee's life, and that's probably going to stay there pretty high. Hana Kimura, her anniversary show of her death in May of 2021. That is number two.
They did something for her on that.
They did.
They did a whole Hana Kimura.
They do every year.
Show?
They do every year. Yeah, they did.
Every year they do that.
It's like a memorial. It's not necessarily a tribute show as much as it's like.
How am I not noticing this?
I don't know.
Like they advertise it as such?
Not AEW.
Oh.
No, like in Japan. About? In Japan, they do.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the top-rated AEW
shows.
No.
Sorry, I'm just doing the top-rated shows of all time. Yeah.
I'm like, when has AEW done Hana Kimura tribute shows?
Yeah, that would be. Yeah, I did not remember that either. So no, they do not.
I was so confused. All right, now, okay, you're talking. So Double or Nothing is like the third highest rated show period in the history of wrestling?
It was on Monday morning. It has now since fallen behind all of these shows. So it was behind those two on Monday morning. It has now since fallen behind Wrestle Kingdom 9 from 2015. That was January 4th, 2015. Right. That is, off the top of my head, I think that's an Okada. It's Tanahashi Okada and then Nakamura, Kota Ibushi, and Styles Naito. So yeah, Kenny Omega versus Taguchi. That was the one that was on American TV or
of course.
Flips or whatever the fuck with Jeff Jarrett and the American commentary. Wasn't it Flips? Wasn't it called Flips?
I think there was something
VEEPS,
called Flips.
Flips. All these things that we've had to live
Crackle.
through. Yeah. What the fuck?
Little crackle. Oh god.
Yeah, all these stupid ass apps they've tried to. I believe it was on Flips. Great commentary by Jim Ross on that show. I'll tell you that. Great notes. Yeah, great notes. He knew a lot.
Well, listen, the notes were great. and he read them verbatim. And that's awesome, but can't even get a little plug-a-roo? Not one little plug-a-roo, Jim? Really? Really, Jim?
I don't want to.
After you asked me how to print all those notes and I had to walk you, like, you still couldn't give me a little pluggeroo? Well, do you see a little icon that looks like a printer? After all that, like, I can't get a little pluggeroo. Nothing. All right.
Whatever. Yeah,
Water under the bridge.
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. I do remember, I think it was during Sakuraba's entrance, like, because some of the guys he was able to kind of freestyle on a little bit. I could tell when your notes were getting read, but then Sakuraba was entering the ring, and I saw your notes, and I saw you could hear him literally look down and go.
You can feel it.
All right, there's catcher Sakuraba, one of the most decorated combat athletes. And I'm just reading it as you're
came back into this company with Laughter 7.
I'm looking at your notes, and it's just exactly not
Laughter
adding a
7
word.
Expert Jim Ross.
Yeah, right. He's not adding a word. He's not adding anything. It's just literally just look down. All right, what did this fucker write for me about this guy? All right, Sakuraba. All right, there he is. Laughter 7. Controversial entrance back to the company. Anyway, it's also behind Dominion 6-9. That is the Okada Kenny Omega 2 out of 3 falls match. Also behind Dominion 6-11 from 2017, which was Okada and Kenny Omega time limit draw, as well as Tanahashi and Naito. Well, it was the 1-2 of that. And it has now fallen behind another AEW show. So it is no longer the highest rated AEW show of all time. AEW Dynamite number 289, Spring Breakthrough 2025.
Who could forget?
Yeah, that was...
I did, though. So
you did, yeah. That's Monday versus Athena, Owen Hart.
Okay.
Semifinal. Hangman Page versus Josh Alexander, Owen Hart, semifinal.
Right.
The Hurt Syndicate versus Gates of Agony. That's still happening a year later. But Will Ospreay versus Takeshita, and then the Ops versus the Death Riders in the main event.
Good show. Now, I thought you meant that this was trending as the second best AEW show of all time behind the Brody King event. This was trending as the second best pro wrestling show, period, of all time.
Right, third for a while.
Third, well, behind 2 tribute shows.
Yeah,
so
right.
That is crazy, and I thought the show was great.
Yeah, I liked it too.
I'm not even sure if it's the best I don't think it's the best AEW pay-per-view of all time.
I really don't think it is either.
Now it's going to sound like I'm bashing it, but I really loved the show. I thought it was a great show, but AEW has a lot of great shows. So, I don't know. Listen, if people loved it, they loved it. You know, I saw a lot of people who typically wouldn't praise it, though. I mean, this is one of the most universally praised shows I've seen. Even the WWE friendly media types were like, oh, yeah, that was a great show. I mean, almost all of them have said it. So, yeah, really great show. That great? I don't know about all that, but, I mean, I don't know. What's the point of sitting here and tearing it down when everyone agrees it was really great?
Right. I just thought I was kind of surprised at how highly rated. I mean, I love the show too. I thought it was a really, really good top to bottom show. I thought one of the best paced AEW pay-per-views maybe ever, and that might be playing a big role in this. It didn't have that slog that we always talked about. Even the great AEW pay-per-views always had that hour and a half where you're like, oh God, like I never really felt that.
Yeah.
On the show, like, and I know watching it live, a lot of people had that same thought too, as they were looking at their clocks and they're like, "Oh my God, this thing might end it like," and then it didn't, of course, because MJF and Darby went long, but it never, even if it was as long as some of those other shows, it didn't have that. Oh my God! And how many more matches are left? 3. Right. Oh, sometimes you have that with an AEW show where you get this long, voluminous match, and you're like, oh Jesus! All right, well that's over. How many more do we have left? You're like, oh God, the women's side. Oh, the main. Oh no, 3. Shit, we have the tag match, the women's match, and the main event.
And there's always like 2 of them that you're not even interested in. Like, 3 matches and 2 of them are there. Oh God!
Oh, the dogs. Oh, the dogs. Yeah, right. So there's for like 3 straight AEW pay-per-views, was some dogs match. You're like, no,
Yeah. No, I think it's just the pacing, and it's just the order of the matches. And I also think being in a jurisdiction that doesn't allow like blood and blading helps, because then Tony resists his temptation to put 7 death matches on the show, which sometimes he just overdoes it with the stipulations.
Right.
And you can't do that if you're not legally allowed. So I think that helps too. Because those kind of matches, even when they're good, they're heavy. They're heavy. You know what I mean by that? And
they're very voluminous and very heavy, and like when it's
3
done,
of them, and it's like, oh God, another one of these, so yeah, it's but yeah, the show flowed very well, even though it was the same length as all of the other shows.
But yeah, it definitely didn't feel like it at all. Maybe the holiday the next day helped a lot too, because some of those you're looking at the clock and you're like, Tony, it's a school night, buddy. Like we gotta take this thing home. Like, let's go, man. But no, I guess the holiday helped a little bit. But yeah, it is now the 7th highest rated show of all time on Cage Match. So we'll see if it stays there. A pretty healthy distance between All Out 2021 right now, and that was the Danielson
debut of all those guys.
Danielson debut, the Cole debut,
that was a
Punk's
special night.
In-ring debut against the pay-per-view debut against Darby, Jericho, MJF, Kenny Omega, Cage, the fucking cage match with the Lucha Brothers and the Young Bucks. So
that was one of those shows that wasn't just a great wrestling show. It was just super memorable because it was an eventful show.
Yeah.
It was a turning point show, all of those things. It was just, it's arguably the most important show in company history.
Definitely. And that was one that I came home from being at that show live, and I'll recall you and I had like a 30-minute discussion about, like, is that the greatest pay-per-view of all time? You know, and I think our reasoning wasn't just the bell to bell, but just like you debuted Bryan Danielson, Adam Cole, you had Punk. You know, it was just like you could tell it was like, oh my God, this company is red hot right now, and it's only going to keep going up.
And then it got red hot.
Yes,
and it did.
Yeah.
I mean, it did.
Yeah, and then they were able to couple later that month do the Arthur Ashe show, and then it was just off to the races for a while there. So
the hottest period in company history.
Yep.
So that was a very important show historically in the pantheon of pro wrestling. This was a very good show. Yeah, it was a really good show. So 2 reviews behind the paywall. 2 those reviews too.
Real quick, Dave Meltzer was talking on Observer Radio this morning that is one of the best-selling AEW pay-per-views of all time. So here's the quote. He says, I don't know if it beat All In, the Globe Life Field show. It's too early to tell. It was the biggest that they've ever done on HBO Max. Obviously, HBO Max started after the All In show. So to me, the big thing was, would they be able to beat Revolution? That was the goal. Revolution did a big number. The only number I've seen so far is that it was up 15% from Revolution. So that's what Dave said, up 15%.
On what, Max? Or whatever
numbers he's seen. So he says, but I think it's pretty clear that it will be among your top 5 or 6 pay-per-views in the history of AEW.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. The thing about it that everyone who was kind of wish casting or using confirmation bias to say that Darby was driving people away from the company based on the television ratings that changed in the middle of his reign and all of those things. You only had to look at the ticket sales to see that wasn't true.
Mm-hmm. And they got over 14,000 in the building too.
Yeah, and once they did and they popped that huge gate, you had a feeling it was also going to do well on pay-per-view, especially when it was obvious that the hair stipulation had gotten over with the fan base. They got the hair thing over. And I think that probably sold a decent amount of pay-per-views. And I think that Mick Foley promo probably sold a few pay-per-views as well. And I'm someone who doesn't believe in pre-shows actually accomplishing that. But that
pre-show felt like the one that if it was going to make anybody want to buy it, that would be the reason you would buy it. Like, and I do wonder. I had that thought of my reaction show is, I'm with you. I don't often think that the pre-show is really going to be, making people run to their, I got to get my remote and go order this pay-per-view or whatever. But I do wonder if
hoping to catch some FOMO with people.
Yeah. And I do wonder if there was a fair amount of people that were checking it out just to see Mick Foley and maybe, didn't plan on watching it and then got that and were like, holy shit, this seems like, because that was the best like build to a match on the pre-show I think they've ever done. They've done they've done stuff where it's like, the pre-show will bleed into the actual pay-per-view itself, and people thought, oh man, I can't miss the end of this match. And I don't know if that actually works. Like, that's cool, but I don't know that it actually makes you go like, oh god, I have to watch the finish of this match or whatever.
It's worth a try.
It's definitely. Yeah, but I thought that match, if you went in just saying, hey, I want to check out what Mick Foley is doing and let's see. Like they got the story of the main event over, and both guys. It wasn't just let's go to a promo package or a promo video and have some vapid talking points with the Big Show and Jeff Jarrett and QT Marshall or whatever. It was like Darby's in the ring, MJF's in the ring, Mick Foley's in the ring. Like that was the hardest I felt like they were really getting you that was like classic. You know, Sunday Night Heat used to do that a lot. Like you'd have McMahon and Austin in the ring at the end of Saturday night's Sunday Night Heat to try to get you to buy the pay-per-view or whatever. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know the actual. I'd love to see the numbers. I'd love to see the data from somebody, anybody.
How can you have data on it?
I don't know. I guess you just have to look at the late buys that you get from. I know Tony was big.
The late buy, yeah.
Tony used to be big on like buys happening during the show itself, and I always found that very strange because there was a while there where he would book a pay-per-view to like wait for. Like he would not want anything important to happen.
It's this pay-per-view during the basketball playoffs.
Yeah, right. Like he'd be like, "Well, the NBA game's going on, so I didn't want to put anything important until after the NBA game was done." And I was like, "Ah, man, I don't know how many people are really doing that."
Yeah, like, I still don't. I still personally don't buy that people are purchasing a pay-per-view when there's an hour left in the pay-per-view. Why would anyone do that? Okay, listen. If you're a Celtics fan and you want to watch the Eastern Conference semifinal Game 6 the same night as the AEW pay-per-view, and you're going to watch the basketball live, why wouldn't you just buy the pay-per-view earlier that day, slap record on your DVR, jump in when the Celtics game is over, and then go back and watch the rest later? Who are these psychopaths who aren't physically purchasing the show?
It's so weird, yeah.
Until there's an hour left in the show. I think listen, if he says people are doing that, I guess we have to believe him, but I still don't believe him. I want to see proof that there's people purchasing the show with 45 minutes left in the show because I don't buy it.
Waiting for their basketball game to end and going, whew, what a game. All right, let me go buy that. Let me go spend $50 and buy that pay-per-view
for
and go
an
see
hour
what's
of a pay-per-view. Why would you pay $50? Like you would just buy the pay-per-view at the end when it starts and record the fucking
Or you would
thing.
just simply say, well, all right, I'm going to watch it tomorrow or I'll watch it later. Or I didn't get it either. But he's a data-minded guy, so I have to assume
must be something to it.
There was something to it. Yeah, I'd love to also know how many times, because I think like there's probably a lot of purchases that happen during the pre-show, but how many of those are being influenced by the pre-show, I guess is your point.
Exactly.
Because I'm somebody who probably buys it an hour before the show, but it's not like, oh, wow, QT Marshall had a really vapid take about the main event. I must buy this pay-per-view. You know, that's never happened.
Yeah. I mean, you're hoping people see the crowd, see some matches, say, you know what, I was on the fence, I'm going to buy it anyway. I think that's the idea behind it.
Oh, of course. Yeah, it is. I just don't, I don't know how many times I don't know if that happens in any mass numbers.
And I think it's hard to measure because as we've talked about a million times, most people do it at the last minute anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time, I'm looking for my remote to hit the button 2 minutes before it starts. I don't know why. Why do I pay my gas bill the day it's due instead of paying the fucking $40 when the bill? I don't know. It's just human nature. You wait till the last second, right? Like, I don't know why people do that. But 99% of people, and I think it's honestly close to that number, buy pay-per-views right before they start. So how could you even measure what the pre-show is? You can't. I don't even think you can measure it. No one's buying it. Like, no one's buying Forbidden Door now. They probably have like 1% of their buys
who are like ahead, like a month out buying the shows. Yeah,
nobody's doing that. Like they're waiting to see what matches are announced.
Can you even do that? Let me even see if you can buy Forbidden Door right now.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I mean, you get the idea. It'll be available at some point.
Yeah,
no one's buying it.
No, that's weird.
Day of. People buy it day of. People buy it the hour before. People like me buy it 5 minutes before.
Right. Yeah, which is crazy because I know I'm going to watch it, but there are probably...
I know I'm going to watch, but I don't do it.
But there are a lot of people, a lot of normal human beings don't know what is going to be coming, in a month. Like, they might plan on watching Forbidden Door, but there's no reason to buy it now because...
budget reasons, whatever.
Yeah. But also, like, who knows? Yeah, who knows what's going to happen that day? If something happens, your kid gets sick or whatever, and it's like, oh, fuck, can't watch it. But... I cannot buy Forbidden Door yet, but we'll be able to buy it pretty soon. Yeah, that's strange, but I don't know. But if there was ever a pre-show that would make people buy this pay-per-view, it was that Mick Foley MJF Darby Allin segment at the end of the pre-show. I thought that was really, really good, really well done. So
good use of Foley. There was some criticism as to whether that was like, oh, this is how we're going to debut him on a pre-show. And if it was just pointless banter with Renee, yes, that would have been a waste of his debut. But they obviously planned this, and they did a big angle with him. So that was actually excellent use of him and an excellent debut.
And you saw it in him too. And you always talk about the eyes. The eyes never lie. I got that from the beginning, his opening segment where he was in there with Renee. You could tell that he seemed pretty jazzed. And then, the thing with MJF, it was like, oh yeah. This is a guy who's feeling it, who's here and has some energy and has some buzz about it. And that's something that I've always. I think there's a lot of people that know Mick Foley as WWE Mick Foley or know Mick Foley as what he's been over the last 15 years. But this is a guy who hasn't always loved his lot in life in WWE. He's loyal to Vince McMahon. He's maybe probably to a fault and very much at times to a fault loyal to Vince McMahon. But he's a guy who has in various times in his career kind of lost his love of that company and tried to find his wrestling love elsewhere. Like he went to Ring of Honor and had some really, really good segments there as doing promo packages. And even his early stuff in TNA, if you remember there, he had some energy in TNA for a while and was really feeling it there until, of course, it sucked the life out of him like it sucked the life out of everybody else. But he's a guy that he'll wear his heart on his sleeve, I guess is probably the best way to put it. And I felt like I was watching a guy that feels like he's doing something purposeful in wrestling and wants to do something purposeful in wrestling. So how long that lasts for, I don't know, but I was very happy with what we got from Mick Foley on Sunday.
Yeah, and they'll integrate him more moving forward. He said he's going to use him on all these pre-shows, and also eventually he's going to do a little bit of commentary. Jim Ross's deal is up in August, and I could easily see Mick Foley sliding into that kind of role. I think there's a high probability that they either don't bring Jim Ross back or they bring him back in some kind of advisor role or something and really just get him off camera and off microphone, I guess would be the better word completely.
It's time. It's time. Yeah, did you see that he had like a fall the day before and was he was upset about his travel and he was like pissed off that he only commentated one match or whatever. And it's like I think it's time for us to just kind of
look. I mean, this should have been done a while ago. I think he said a lot of things that if I owned the company, I wouldn't have been happy with over the years. We've talked about it a million times. That would have been the last straw for me. But I get the sense he doesn't respect AEW all that much. And if he does, he
never has.
I don't think, and now it's just from a performance. Now you can truly, from a performance standpoint, say, even one match a month, he was brutal. I mean, he was brutal. I don't want to be mean about it. He did not know who Kyle O'Reilly was. No. He thought that Moxley won the title from O'Reilly. Oh, we got ourselves a new champion. Jim, pay attention. Pay attention.
Yeah, watch the product.
You're calling one match. You can't get it straight who the champion was coming in. I mean, it's just a lack of respect combined with maybe some other issues, but either way,
come on, kid. Come on, kid. It's your moment, kid.
Yeah,
and it's like
40 years old.
The guy's 40 and he's beat him many times. Like he was telling the story as if he thought the story was that Kyle O'Reilly has never beaten Jon Moxley and is here to try to, and it's like you don't know what's going on at all.
You don't know what's going on. It's and I saw some quotes from him today saying his contract's coming due, and if the cliff notes of it was, and I'm paraphrasing, were basically, if Tony wants to sign me, he'll sign me. If he doesn't, he doesn't, and it'll be what it is. Well, I mean, he's even just him talking like that is like, all right, well, why even bring this guy back?
It doesn't sound like you want to be here anymore.
What's
so
he
maybe
providing? It's what are you getting out of him? So, and I could, I could totally see Foley sliding into that role where maybe for a match or two on a pay-per-view, he jumps in on commentary or he pops up on a Dynamite now and then. He does the pay-per-view pre-shows. And I just think you get much more out of somebody like him right now than you're getting out of Jim Ross.
Definitely. And he's also going to at some point get beaten up by a heel and bloodied up for sure.
I mean, he got physical. He got punched in the dick by MJF.
I mean, he's not going to resist.
He didn't bump.
He's not going to resist the temptation for someone to hit him with a fucking weapon and come up with a face full of blood at some point for sure.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the other thing. You can do angles with him, and he can help get people over, so... I don't know. I think he's going to be a net positive, and he already has been. Yeah,
he's already. Yeah, you made that point on the Instant Reaction Live that he has already lapped like Mark Henry and Paul White and all those guys. Like with the old, and I talked about this a little bit on my show. Like Arn Anderson being like maybe the lone exception because Arn had a lot of really good segments with Cody, but like totally, like he's way past what anything. Tully Blanchard gave you nothing ever. Jake, not really. I mean, Jake the Snake.
Let's be honest. Jake is, if he's still there, but was a courtesy hire. I don't want to call it charity, but it's Tony Khan wanting to do right by some of the legends of the business. And Jake turned his life around, and Tony rewarded him with a job that he's had for, and I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that, but if we're analyzing what you're getting out of these people, you're right. You really have gotten nothing out of Jake the Snake Roberts.
Yeah, and then I'm trying to think of any other like legacy hires, like Vicky Guerrero. I mean, that was nothing. I mean, you got terrible promos. I mean, you got what you've got out of Mick Foley already is leaps and bounds compared to like Mark Henry. I mean, Jesus Christ, Mark Henry's. They had so little to do with the guy that he would. What was his line on Collision that he would say? Like, it's time for the main event. Like, that was it, right? That was all he did. Or
enough talk. It's time for the main event.
Yeah, right? What a waste.
Because they tried doing other things with him, and it just didn't. He just wasn't very good at anything. And then I mean, Paul White. They tried building Dark Elevation. They rolled out Dark Elevation, and it was Paul White as one of the commentators, and that lasted for a little while. But then Dark Elevation just became a second Dark. It started off different than Dark, and then it kind of just, as always happens with these C shows, no matter what the company is, it became, and then he wasn't doing that anymore. He at least got in the ring a couple times. He let Powerhouse Hobbs slam him on a car in one of those.
QT Marshall. Deals. He faced QT Marshall on that All Out 2021 show.
Yeah, I mean, they got more out of him than they got out of Mark Henry, that's for sure. But now what the hell is he doing? I mean, I don't, like, ambassador. Well, what does that mean? Is he out there shaking hands? Is he doing media events? If he is, we're not privy to any of it. I don't see anything. I just don't understand. It's and I'm not even necessarily blaming Paul White. You could just, why don't you try doing something with these? You don't even, like, he's never even around.
I try to think of who else. I mean, you had Ric Flair for a little bit for the Sting thing. I
think isn't he still under contract?
Probably. Yeah, I don't know. Is anybody we're missing? Any other legasy hire people? I
don't know if I'm putting Ric Flair on my TV in 2026 anymore.
No.
Anyway. I mean, he's just, some people can't perform anymore. I mean,
it was the last time he was there was rough. And then there was the year where they had to do the Flair Energy or whatever, the fucking Flair mushroom drink. They had to have it on the table as if like Tony Schiavone's taking swigs of this Flair mushroom drink. Between Ricky Steamboat was great. Now that's somebody in the chat room brought up Ricky Steamboat. I forgot that he was there, and he was awesome.
Yeah, it's a little different though. He just got booked a couple times. He wasn't signed by the company, and that's a little different. That's like Sabu. Like, they brought in Sabu for a pay-per-view and had him corner Adam Cole, because of course they did.
Yes.
All the deep connective tissue of Adam Cole.
Oh God, was that for that horrible Adam Cole Chris Jericho match?
I don't remember who the opponent was. I have bad memory for that stuff.
There was that Adam Cole Chris Jericho like plunder match. I forget what the stip was. It was awful. It was just terrible.
Yeah. Well, the Sabu Adam Cole connection. Yeah, I didn't get that one, but again, that's something a little different. Yeah, they just booked them. One night. Like when they had Bret Hart present the AEW World Title at the first.
Double
or Nothing. I guess. And Bret, like when he was asked about it years later, he's like, I didn't even know what it was. They called me they said, come down and they're going to pay me to bring this belt down to the ring. I don't know what kind of company it is. And he didn't even know what the fuck it was. Like, he just showed up and said, all right, you're going to pay me $5,000 or whatever to hold this belt up in the center of the ring. Because Bret has not been a fan of the AEW.
No, not at all.
Fan of the
AEW.
Yeah, grumpy Bret. Not a fan of much, Bret.
I was going to say, what is he a fan of?
Not a fan of much. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be worried if he was a fan of me, because he doesn't seem to care for much these days. But all right, that is Double or Nothing Fallout. Again, 2 reviews behind the paywall, flagship patreon.com, Instant Reaction Live with Joe and Case-Low, special guest Case-Low, 2.5 hour recap and review of the show, and then an instant-ish reaction from me the very next morning. My show is on the $5 tier. Joe and Case's show is on the $10 tier. But you know what? If you're on that $10 tier, you get both of them. So why not just get both? You also get the Thursday Dynamite review, which we talked about just a little bit ago. I had a Flagship Plus just a couple of days ago. You had a Saturday night's main event and AAA on Fox Latin America review on a Flagship Plus earlier this weekend. I have a brand new show coming out tomorrow. Doom and the Steiner Brothers. Why you should watch Doom versus the Steiner Brothers from Capital Combat. That was just a recent upload on the WCW YouTube channel. So that match fucking rocks, and I wanted to talk about it. So I did. So why you should watch Doom and the Steiner Brothers. But it's, a little bit of background about Doom, a little bit of background about the Steiners, what's going on in WCW at the time, a little Capital Combat 1990 discussion. So plenty of stuff to get to there. But that is all available for you guys at flagshippatreon.com. And speaking of
Did you talk about that harlot, Robin Green, who tricked Rick Steiner into thinking that she wanted to bang him, and then she revealed herself as woman to manage Doom?
And then brought Doom to the Steiner Brothers. Yes.
With her little glasses and trying to pretend like she was sweet and innocent.
Well, she was not.
What a concubine.
I know. Women, am I right? You can't trust them. So
yes.
At all. But, and then she revealed Doom 1 and Doom 2, who were very clearly Butch Reed and Ron Simmons.
Not even a full mask, like the half mask. You can totally see who they are.
That's Butch Reed. That's territory stalwart and WCW wrestler Butch Reed, and that clearly is Ron Simmons, because Ron saw the mustache hanging out or whatever it is. So, I love it.
Looks just like him. No denying.
Doom 1 and Doom 2. Yeah. All right. If you say so. But that's available flagshippatreon.com by the time most of you guys listen to this. So on flagshippatreon.com, a free post, I wrote a little bit about the huge news this week that Bushiroad is selling their shares of New Japan Pro Wrestling. So Bushiroad has sold its entire stake in New Japan Pro Wrestling. They bought it in 2012 and now have sold their entire stake. Control of the company is now split equally, 46% each. Between TV
Asahi.
Why did I not pronounce that right? Asahi, yeah. And CyberAgent /CyberFight own 46% of the company. Another little 8% made up of minority stockholders. And interesting news of this as well is that Bushiroad is retaining ownership of Stardom. So Stardom is still staying under Bushiroad control. But New Japan Pro Wrestling is not. It is now owned by the TV station that carries them and CyberFight.
We should have thought something was afoot when all of the Stardom shares were returned to Bushiroad from New Japan.
Yeah, in April.
A couple of months ago. Yeah. So that kind of was a precursor. So this was definitely something that was cooking for a while here. I did try to ask around AEW to see if they knew whether this was going down and if maybe they tried to get into the mix. I got no response whatsoever back from AEW on that. I reached out to some people in New Japan on this one, and it seems to be a lot of optimism is what I'm getting from them. So internally, it's not seen as, oh no, we're going into the unknown. What's this new company going to do? Very optimistic responses. The one thing is you have to remember from a TV Asahi point of view, this I didn't know, but Wrestle Kingdom, not only did it do a true and real sellout for Bushiroad, but the television broadcast did 3.5 million viewers, which was a monster number, and it was second on television. So TV Asahi was obviously very pleased with that, and that probably had something to do with all of this. I think the other big key is everybody knows that CyberAgent owns CyberFight, right? And CyberFight is the subsidiary that owns DDT, Noah, and Tokyo Joshi Pro, maybe a couple other smaller promotions.
I think they own those outright, and then obviously some other promotions are on Wrestle Universe because they do operate the Wrestle Universe streaming service.
But if you look at all the reporting on this and how it's being framed, New Japan is not being put under the CyberFight umbrella. it's being put under the CyberAgent umbrella.
Yes, I know.
Which is an important distinction.
It is, yeah, and I didn't necessarily pick up on that because I wrote my piece like right as the news came out, like a couple hours after the news came out. But as I've read more and more and more, it is always being referred to as CyberAgent, not CyberFight, and that's a big deal. We should probably explain why that's a big deal.
Well, yeah, we're going to find out why it's a big deal. It's obviously on purpose. This isn't a mistake. They very easily could have put it under the CyberFight sort of subsidiary, whatever you want to call it, but they didn't. So it's technically not under the same auspices as Noah, DDT, and Tokyo Joshi Pro, although it is under the same blanket umbrella with CyberAgent. Now, the reason could be that with CyberAgent and TV Asahi basically splitting the majority of the shares, and there are some minority shares. I think there's like 8% minority.
8%, yeah.
Right. But the other 46.3 are split evenly between CyberAgent and TV Asahi, is because TV Asahi also controls New Japan World. So I know a lot of people are kind of hoping that New Japan content and the archives and everything will end up on Wrestle Universe, because that would be very consumer friendly. It'd be a one-stop shop where you can cut down on your subscriptions and you can have 4 of the major companies in Japan and a bunch of the little smaller ones as well on one streaming service. And let's be honest, it's the best streaming service.
The best, yeah.
Japan.
The quality is the best. The layout's the best. The way to find stuff's the best. It's it by far blows
everything
the other ones
about
away.
it is the best. It's the best at everything. It's just period. So it would be nice, but I think that if New Japan were owned, if CyberAgent had a majority of the shares, maybe that would be the case, and they would put it under the CyberFight umbrella. But they're splitting this ownership with the TV station, and the TV station already owns New Japan World. So I would not expect New Japan to pop up on Wrestle Universe, at least anytime soon, because I think TV Asahi, I mean, they want, they own this company now, and they want to make as much money of it as they can, and it would complicate things to stick them under the CyberFight subsidiary and get rid of the New Japan World streaming service, which I haven't seen numbers on that in quite some time, but I'm sure it's bringing in a decent amount of money per month.
Yeah, it's not. I think the only reason that you would, if you're Asahi, that you'd want to get rid of it would be it's losing money. We're losing, and I doubt at this point. I'm sure the startup of it or whatever, and some of the the launch of it, you lose money with that. WWE lost a shit ton of money launching the WWE Network. But at this point, it's probably just, they haven't done much. The maintenance of New Japan World's got to be pretty low at this point, and I'd imagine that
why would they want to kill? Why would TV Asahi want to kill something that they own 100%, that they own and already have going and making money on?
Right, so exactly. Unless it was losing them money, I don't see why they would bail on it.
Right. So, I wouldn't expect that. People who want it, look, that'd be consumer friendly for everybody, but that's not going to happen. And again, New Japan, what makes them different than Noah and DDT and these other companies is it's a 50-50 split. They're not owned outright by CyberAgent, and they're not going to be under CyberFight.
Mom, can you tell me a story?
Sure. Once upon a time, a mom needed a new car.
Was she brave?
She was tired, mostly. But she went to Carvana.com and found a great car at a great price. No secret treasure map required.
Did you have to fight a dragon?
Nope. She bought it 100% online. From her bed, actually.
Was it scary?
Honey, it was as unscary as car buying could be.
Did the car have a sunroof?
It did, actually.
Okay, good story.
Car buying you'll want to tell stories about. Buy your car today on
Carvana.
Delivery fees may apply.
Most people don't realize how much their personal information is being bought and sold every day. Data brokers are making billions, pulling details about you from public records and the internet, and then packaging and selling it, usually without your consent. That's how your information lands in the hands of scammers, spammers, even stalkers. It's why you get endless robocalls and why ads seem to follow you everywhere. That's where Aura comes in. Aura actively removes your data from broker sites and keeps it off. They also instantly alert you if your information shows up in a breach or on the dark web. But Aura goes beyond data protection. With one app, you get a VPN, antivirus, password manager, spam call protection, dark web monitoring, and even up to $5 million in identity theft insurance. All backed by 24/7 US-based fraud support. Other companies might sell just credit monitoring or just a VPN. Aura gives you all of it, together, at the same price competitors charge for just one service. Start your free trial today at aura.com/remove. Protect yourself now at aura.com/remove.
And for people that don't know the difference, Cyber Fight is like you said, the subsidiary. CyberAgent is a massive, massive, massive company.
Much bigger company than Bushiroad. We talk about that all the time.
I mean, CyberAgent is, in for lack of a better term, a conglomerate. You know what I mean? Like, it owns a billion different companies, 1,000 different things. It brings in billions and billions and billions of dollars every single year. So New Japan becomes, if it's separate from Cyber Fight, it becomes yet another asset that they own, but they own, dozens and dozens and dozens of assets. So that's kind of, so for with somebody in the chat room that says, what does Cyber Fight get out of this? Well, CyberAgent gets a company out of it to add to their portfolio.
They get a half ownership stake on a profitable pro wrestling company, or a pro wrestling company that has proven to be profitable over the last 12 years or so.
Right.
Because that should be noted. New Japan was profitable for Bushiroad during this period that they owned them. And this was, I know a lot of people don't want to hear this and haven't wanted to hear this over the years, but this was the best fiscal period in the history of New Japan, this Bushiroad era. It just was, up until the pandemic. After that, a little different.
Yeah.
But that period, though, between 2012 and 2019, those were the most successful years in the history of the company, even adjusted for the very small inflation that Japan had seen over the previous 20 to 30 years. Japan had very little inflation during that time. And even when you adjust for that 1 or 2% inflation, the revenue that under the Bushiroad ownership was far surpassed the revenue of all other previous eras of New Japan. So, that's what CyberAgent gets out of this. They've got the biggest wrestling promotion in Japan under their ownership now.
And I'm trying to look at, I forgot the exact price. I know Chris Sampson's in the room. He might know.
$22.3 million, I think.
Well, I'm trying to figure out what Bushiroad bought New Japan for. I think that was $5 or something like that. I mean, they got the return on investment was pretty fucking good, because we always talk about this. Like, people do not realize how in the fucking dumps New Japan was for.
Yeah.
I mean, the Yuke's ownership was a low period, and that's the end of the Inoki period, and some of the Yuke's years was like as close as you could possibly get to New Japan just going away, just going out of business and going away.
$6.5 million, by the way.
Okay, so they bought it for 6.5 and sold
They sold it for about between 22 and 24.
Yeah,
that's a nice flip.
Yeah, it's not bad, and having and during that time, having a profitable company during that period too. So making money while you owned it, and then turning it around and making a healthy penny on the sale.
Look. At the end of the day, Takaaki Kadane is one of the most influential people in pro wrestling over the last 15 years. There's no question about it. To buy that company, turn it around, and then flip it. Now we'll see what CyberAgent is able to do with it. Much bigger company. We talk all the time about the resources that go into pro wrestling Noah. Maybe those kind of resources go into New Japan now, which is kind of exciting. I would, if you're a wrestling fan, I would take this as good news. Now, the concern is WWE is in bed with CyberAgent. Okay? But this was stressed to me by people in New Japan when I asked that the WWE programming is moving away from CyberAgent and Abema and all of that.
Yeah,
Abema,
it was on Abema.
I said
but
CyberAgent. I meant Abema.
Yeah, but that's part of their
Abema.
That's a part of CyberAgent. Again, another thing that's in CyberAgent. Abema is part of
CyberAgent. Then there's Abema, CyberFight. They have all these little companies that they are the right. WWE is going to be off Abema in June because they're moving to Netflix. Mm-hmm. So that connection that everybody's worried about, well, oh shit, now New Japan is tangentially going to be in a business relationship, 6 degrees to Kevin Bacon with WWE. That's not going to be the case by June. And that also could have been part of the reason, that could have been part of the motivation for CyberAgent to do this. Right? I mean, because they're losing WWE.
Right. They might have, for the Abema side, again, and that might be why the CyberAgent aspect of this is so important, because CyberFight and Abema, yes, they have a relationship, and some shows on CyberFight do appear on Abema or whatever, but there might be an idea, like, I think that's a great point, that Abema had this wrestling thing on it, and maybe they're going to say, hey, why don't we just fill that with New Japan? Yeah, that was working well for us, so let's just buy the most popular Japanese wrestling company.
Let's fill that with New Japan and Aaron Wolf and the 3.5 million people who watched Aaron Wolf on January 4th. I mean, that could absolutely be part of this motivation here.
Yeah.
So, now will anybody give a shit about Aaron Wolf by then? We'll see. But that's a separate issue.
Definitely is a separate issue. But so it's there's still a lot of questions. Like, some people in the chat room wondering, well, when are we going to see Noah and DDT guys in New Japan? We don't know. We don't know what we're all in a wait and see mode right now in terms of how the relationship is handled. If they are left completely separate, if there's going to be relationships between the two, we don't know yet. We have no idea yet how things are looking. And I tend to think that, like you said, New Japan World is going to survive in its current iteration, because why would it go away if it's making money for
I think this is good. If you're a wrestling fan, this is good news. I think New Japan going to a more stable and larger ownership and having such an aggressive partner. The TV Asahi side of it is a very aggressive partner right now, and the other half of it is a much bigger company than Bushiroad. I just think this opens up much better and bigger possibilities for New Japan.
Yeah. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll see how much of that investment is because they can invest a lot of money in Noah, and it's still just a bunch of guys in black shirts fucking around and interfering in that. So it's possible.
Well, let's approach it this way. Do you like essentially one company having their fingers on 4 of the 6 biggest companies or whatever it is in Japan right now?
I don't know that I love that. No,
because outside of Stardom and I guess Dragon Gate, these would be
All Japan.
Where would Tokyo Joshi Pro stack up against a place like All Japan? Probably about the same.
I'd say rough, maybe a slightly above.
Look, there's going to be people pedantic about this, but let's just say 4 of the 6 biggest promotions in Japan for the sake of it's ballpark. I don't know how do you feel about that? I mean, that is definitely a legitimate concern, though, right?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I'll never really kind of get down. I mean, that to me is always troubling. It's troubling when it happens in America. It's troubling when it happens with WWE getting their grubby hands on everything. And it's hard to not think that's, that there are potential issues with that. And I probably do feel a little uncomfortable about that. But with that said, given the economics at play, I get it. I understand why that might be the direction things go.
And if you look around at the wrestling world, that kind of consolidation, unfortunately, is happening everywhere. Yeah. WWE, via their, TKO is the CyberAgent in this scenario, but WWE having an ownership stake with AAA is a perfect example of that. WWE just totally eating up and absorbing Evolve a couple of years ago, and they've got Gabe Sapolsky working for them now. Tony Khan buying ROH and making that and absorbing that. And now you have, what we saw with Cyber Fight, when they bought Pro Wrestling Noah, when they already had ownership of DDT and Tokyo Joshi Pro and all of their subsidiaries, and now diving in and buying New Japan. This is happening everywhere. And that, I guess, should be at least in the back of wrestling fans' minds. I mean, you don't want a pro wrestling landscape where there's 2 massive conglomerates that own everything. That would obviously be very bad. I think with Tony Khan in the pro wrestling business, that's one definite firewall. He's never going away. He loves this shit too much. So you'll always have Tony Khan. You're going to have TKO. You're going to have CyberAgent. These are 3 gigantic. You have a multi-billionaire, one of the richest families in America, and then you have 2 gigantic fucking, almost indestructible at this point, companies, barring massive scandal. And I don't even think Scandal could take TKO down because they're just impervious to anything.
They've had them, and they're having them, and it doesn't matter.
What kind of scandal could possibly take them down at this point? Is that a little scary? I guess so. I mean, it should be scary if you wonder, you think that CMLL is so rooted in history and family and all that they would just, and because they own that building, will always have their little place. But, and you look at WWE and how tight they are with TNA, and at some point they could absorb them at any moment. So yeah, that's the one thing I would look at maybe as a fan where you'd be a little wary of this. But in the macro. In the micro, I think if you're a New Japan fan, I think this is good news for you. Because they can dump more money into it.
Definitely, yeah. And I hope they do. I hope they do, and I hope maybe they reassess a lot of the business aspects of New Japan. I think it's been time to shake things up a little bit and refresh and open the blinds, open the windows, let some. I don't know if they're going to do this. I don't know that they're going to go through and do a bunch of wholesale changes, but now would be a really good time to go through and just kind of reassess everything about that company, because it's been, to me, very stale for very long. And you and I have made our thoughts known about New Japan over the last a couple of years, and particularly in the last year, and very particularly the last couple of months, of just how just unenthused I am about everything going on in New Japan. So this makes me a little bit more excited, but I want to see some actual tangible changes to the company. And if it's the same, business as usual, but it's just different ownership, well, fine, whatever. It doesn't bother me one way or another, but I just can't. Yeah, I am very disillusioned with the current New Japan product, so I'm hoping that things do change. Whether they end up being for the better or for the worse, I don't know. I just want something to be different in New Japan. I feel like it's been the same shit for so long, and it's just the shows all feel the same and look the same, and a lot of the same roster and all that sort of stuff. So just we'll see. We'll see. But that's big news. That's big news. Still a lot of questions, more so than answers. But and I do find the note that they decided to keep Stardom pretty interesting as well. But that speaks to them not necessarily seeing that New Japan is a failing company that's going out of business or whatever, and they have to keep the good company. But I think it also just speaks to the fact that they probably feel that they have a pretty good thing going with Stardom, a pretty good return on investment with Stardom, pretty good idea of what's going on in that business, and it's probably a little bit more financially stable to just stick with Stardom. We know what we're doing there, and it's making money, and we don't really have to change anything or do anything or invest anything, because what's happening right now is great. It's like they wouldn't sell New Japan in 2018 either, and you're not going to sell Stardom in 2026. But whatever that might say about New Japan at this time, I don't know. But Bushiroad getting out of it, and there you go, selling their stakes in New Japan Pro Wrestling. So that'll be an ongoing story. I'm sure we'll have more on that as time goes on.
Someone in the chat asked if it means maybe they could be more competitive with talent. Noah, which doesn't draw the gates that New Japan does, or even close, really, they've been able to be aggressive with some foreigners on their scale, which maybe they wouldn't be if they were independently owned. So while I wouldn't say the answer to that is yeah, definitely, I don't think I would close the door on that. I think it's definitely possible that there could be more from an investment standpoint in either trying to attract talent or keep talent than there was under Bushiroad. Because again, these are much bigger companies than Bushiroad was.
I think if you look at Noah's roster before they were a part of CyberAgent and what it is after, I think it's pretty noticeable that they've had the green light on a lot of signings.
I mean, people are going to scoff, but are the Good Brothers working there regularly if they're just an independent pro wrestling company?
No.
Probably not. I mean, those guys aren't working for pennies. They're not breaking the bank either. But you didn't have to compete with 3 other promotions and outbid them for the Good Brothers, but they're not working for pennies. So that's what I mean via scale. I mean, Bushiroad may have been content just running a lean payroll from a talent standpoint to ensure that they're making their $1.2 million in operating profit or whatever it was last year that's being reported and floated around. Whereas this new ownership group, these two groups, might feel, okay, we could be more aggressive because this has more upside than DDT. This has more upside than Pro Wrestling Noah, because this is the established market leader in the country. And we just proved on January 4th that we can sell out the biggest building in the company and draw 3.5 million viewers on TV. So there is an upside and a ceiling there that doesn't exist with these other promotions we own. And maybe if we, put more money into this thing, we get more money out of it.
Right. And that from the network too. I think that it's also, we're talking about the CyberAgent Cyberfight side of this too, but the network now, TV Asahi now owns the company. It's not just that we have a little bit of an investment in it, because I think there was like they had 14% or something like that before.
And they controlled New Japan World.
Yeah, but now they control half the company and its main distribution channel. And that so there's a reason to also do as much as you can now to put it on TV and feature it as much as possible. So yeah, I just got to imagine that there's just a little, it's not, whatever Bushiroad was doing, and probably to them it was, get the best return on investment that we possibly can, but as it always is anytime you're owning a company, but definitely it feels like with both CyberAgent and now TV Asahi, having as much as they have, there's just a definite, there's two parties that are very interested in making as much money as possible with this thing.
They're both giant media companies.
And both have more money than Bushiroad probably.
What makes the difference in America when it comes to American wrestling companies? Media rights deals, having great exposure, having a good television time slot. They are now co-owned by two gigantic media companies who have incentives to put them in the best advantageous position exposure-wise. This is why I think if you're a wrestling fan or a New Japan fan, you have to see this as a positive move.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely feels like there's the two new owners. Yeah, I'm with you. I think it'll be hopefully a positive move, and I'm at least rooting for it to be. So there you go. That is the news of New Japan getting sold. Let's move to let's talk WWE here. Let's talk about WWE Clash in Italy, because we'll talk about a WWE product here in a bit with AAA, but let's talk about Clash in Italy, because this will not take very long. Your main event, Joe, is a WWE World Heavyweight Title Tribal Combat match with Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu.
I think they have effectively pushed Fatu, and he came across looking very strong coming out of the last pay-per-view, whatever that was, where he left Roman laying in the aftermath and all of that. So they clearly have something in Jacob Fatu. I don't think they're ready to pull the trigger on him and put the world title on him or anything like that. But there's something there. The danger is, as is often the case in WWE, you wait too long and then the fans don't want it anymore. Mm-hmm. This is when the fans want Jacob Fatu, and you've done a good job with him. But unfortunately, it doesn't meet the timing of when you're ready. Will they shock the world and put the title on this guy and take the title off of Roman Reigns this quickly into Roman's?
Probably not.
I probably not. But from, peaking someone's story from that standpoint, the fans are ready for this. And it's almost like he got over too much too soon, in a way. Because WWE fans are very quick to cool off on you if they don't see the company behind you, because they've been taught that for so long. Look how they've cooled off on like LA Knight.
That's exactly the example I was going to bring up. There was a time last year where people were earnestly saying LA Knight should win the world title. And now,
I'm not saying they should have pulled the trigger on him, because he's not that guy.
No, they knew he was a zilch, and that's why they
let it cool off, right? But that's kind of like, and historically you see that too. Ryback, Braun Strowman, on a smaller scale, like Lyra Valkyria, like these acts get red hot, and then
Tiffany Stratton for a time too.
Yeah, and then they just and the fans realize, okay, they know the pattern at this point. So they're not going to belt him up. The danger is that maybe you can't rebottle that. Like, they think, all right, well, down the line, when we're ready for this, we'll build something out and we'll give Jacob Fatu the big, but it might not work that way again, And that's not exclusively a WWE thing. That's a pro wrestling thing that, time immemorial. I mean, that's been the case. We talked about that 2 years ago at Will Ospreay and Swerve, and that was a big debate. And who knew if Will would ever be that hot again, and who knows if he ever will be?
Right. Well, I did a whole last segment on the Why You Should Watch that is going to be available by the time most of you guys are able to listen to this, about Lex Luger and that Capital Combat in 1990. Yeah. I mean, they fucked around with Lex Luger 3 straight pay-per-views, and the fans just went, all right, we're good. And then Lex just said, all right, I'm good. And then he never got there again. Like, he was there for the moment, and they didn't want to switch the title to him because they wanted to tell the story with Sting, and then they never were able to rebottle that ever again with him, and it was over, and it never got and he was gone from the company 2 years later.
So I mean, so what do you do? It's he's gonna lose. That's just all there is to it. I don't see them making a move like this. It would be extremely aggressive. It would be bold. It'd be exciting, but I don't think they're going to do it.
It's unlike them right now. And I've liked that AEW, and you and I have talked about this a lot. I like that AEW recently has been okay with just switching the title back and forth a couple times and not necessarily thinking that every world title reign needs to be 400 days and a year long and all this long, giant 250 days as champion type stuff. It's like sometimes it's okay. Sometimes you can move the title around. We switched back. I made this point a couple months ago. We went too far the other way. There was a while in the Attitude Era where the world title would change every single week and every single show, and it was like, okay, we don't need that. That nobody wants that anymore. That was a terrible period. And I don't want to have that ever again.
We finally undid the damage 20 years later.
Right,
seems like,
right. But now I feel like people are just so beholden to title reigns, and it's like, well, no, he just started being champion. It's like, who fucking cares? It's Roman Reigns. Like, it's okay. It's not going to matter if Roman Reigns has a 2-month long title reign. Like, he'll survive. He'll be okay. So if it means getting the most out of a Jacob Fatu, who you might only have one opportunity to make into a guy, you got to do that.
The issue is they probably have some other shit plotted out.
Sure.
And that's why I say it's like he almost got over this much this soon to his detriment. It's weird to say, but it's like, man, the timing that you got over probably wasn't the best because they probably have a lot more meat on the bone of what they have planned with Roman.
Yeah.
And it's they don't want to rip all that up. And sometimes as a booker, sometimes as a promoter, that's the move you have to make. But there's also a danger in that, as over as Fatu seems to be, there's also a weird thing in wrestling sometimes where if you put a belt on a guy, sometimes the fans are like, you know what? We like him, but we don't think he's a world champion
that
yet.
Much. We didn't want him that much.
We don't think he's a world champion yet. It's weird. And that happens sometimes too.
I think that happened with Jey Uso. I think everybody was ready to heat, and then he won that title, and everyone was like,
this guy's not a world champion. That's fucking Jey Uso.
Right, what? Jey Uso.
And he kind of stinks, and what are we doing? And it's, that's actually not a bad example.
Everybody kind of wakes up. They wake up from the the light. They wake up in the morning and they look over at this other side of the bed and go, "Oh man, really?"
Yeah, after a bad hookup.
Jey Uso.
I
what was I thinking?
I thought you were going to go to the old post-nut clarity. I thought that's what you were going to go to.
I went the next morning. Yeah, you got to get some cuddles in, and whatever. What happened. But the morning is when it's like, oh, really?
Yeah, with the hookup. Yeah, for sure.
Well, because the makeup's worn off and stuff, and you're like, oh man, that was a little rough, wasn't it? All right, well, whatever.
And believe me, she's thinking the same thing, right. Looking over at you.
Right, you don't look great either. Yeah.
She's like, oh my God, what mountain did I just climb? Ugh, right. And I was thinking more along the lines is it's 3:30 a.m. You're alone with some porn. You've dipped into a category that you never dip into. And you're like, this is
page 8 on Pornhub. And you're like, all right, yeah.
Page 8 of the category you never dip into. And you just go with it, and then as soon as it's over, you're disgusted with yourself. You're like, where am I? What is this?
This isn't like me. I'm better than this.
Why was I watching this? This is disgusting. You can't close the laptop fast enough. You're just like, get me out of here.
You delete your history just in case. It's not going to matter, but just in case, you're just like, I just hope that
you promise yourself you're never exploring that search topic again. And that might be what happens when you put the title on Jacob Fatu this Saturday at Clash in Italy in Tribal Combat. Find another podcast that'll give you that analogy.
Exactly. Yeah. Dare you?
That's why you listen.
Dare you? Previous Tribal Combat matches. Oh, sorry. Do you got one more plug?
Yeah. Will Jacob Fatu winning the title result in a post-nut clarity for WWE fans? That's the YouTube clip, Rich.
YouTube title.
That's the YouTube title.
Probably not going to be able to monetize that one, but that's okay. That's all right. We want the listens, not the monetization.
About monetizing. No one cares.
Yeah. I don't need your $7. Yeah, I don't need your $7. 8 cents. Yeah, I was gonna say $7 must be a really successful video. Yeah, one of our most successful videos ever.
Right? Jeez.
Yeah, $7. Wow. All right, but So previous Tribal Combat matches. Jey Uso, SummerSlam 2023. I think that's the famous one that you heard in the intro where Paul Heyman just screaming Tribal Combat the entire time, and Michael Cole just kept, or Corey Graves just saying perfectly legal. Everything's legal in Tribal Combat, which you'll hear 1,000 times. And also Solo Sikoa on the Raw on Netflix premiere in 2025. So, of course, if Roman beats Jacob Fatu will have to acknowledge him. It's like, do you have any? Paul, can you tell any other fucking story? At least this time, the guy that you're having the match with has got a pulse, and it's not Jey Uso or Solo Sikoa. But can you please, for God's sakes, we have been doing the same story since deep pandemic, like September of 2020. We've been doing the same story. It is May of 2026.
We've hired people for the story and fired them since they've been doing
Fuck. Could this guy do anything else besides acknowledge and wear the fucking necklace?
No.
Nothing.
The fucking anal bead necklace and the fucking, there's nothing else there.
They have nothing else. It's just tribal combat.
Yeah.
Stupid. Oh, God. Becky Lynch and Sol Ruka for the WWE Women's Intercontinental title. I watched Saturday Night's Main Event. You told me I was off the hook, but I at least wanted to check it out to get ready for this Clash in Italy preview. They have, and we could kind of predict this. Sol Ruka's got the yips, and I don't know. She cannot do that soul snatcher to save her fucking life. She looks like shit. All the charisma, all the bubbliness, all the smoothness, it's all gone. It's zapped out of her immediately on this main roster. We all knew that she was super talented and had a lot of potential, but was probably never going to reach that potential because she's just in the performance center rehearsing her match 1,000 times over and over again and not really learning how to work. And so far in the main roster, she has been a disaster. And that match with Becky, and it only lasted like 2 minutes because they had that horrible finish. That match was rough, and she keeps fucking up the Soul Snatcher. I don't know. They have a lot of work to do with her, and I don't think that they're going to switch the title onto her right now either.
The yips, like Mackie Sasser from the Mets in the 90s. Remember, he had the yips.
Steve Sachs had the yips, I think, at one point.
Steve Sachs had
Chuck
the yips.
Knobloch was a famous yips guy. Yeah.
John Lester couldn't do pickoff throws for a while.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
So guys were just taking monster leads on him and stealing bases at will. Yeah, the yips. And that's what Sol Ruka has, the yips. She stinks. She can't complete. Forget like her fucking soul snatcher. She can't do anything right. She's out there with 2 left feet. It's awful. So, but they push on. They soldier on. Here she is, Intercontinental title match against Becky Lynch, who just, she mails it in these days.
Becky, the worst character, probably the worst. I said Chris Statlander is the worst character in AEW. I think Becky Lynch is the worst character in WWE. Like the idea that the man is just, she's scared of Paige. She's scared of AJ Lee. She's terrified of Sol Ruka, so she throws the referee in front of Sol Ruka.
So bad.
And then they did that horrible segment afterwards where she's backstage and Kathy Kelly just happens to be like standing in a hallway or whatever. And I think it's Adam Pearce or something, or whoever the fuck, maybe it's Nick Aldis, nobody cares, is like, Becky, after the actions that just happened out there, you're going to face Sol Ruka at Clash in Italy. And she's like, oh, no. And she's like falling on the ground and rolling on the ground. This is such a disservice. I can't believe this is. I'm like, this is such a dorky ass character. Like, have some fucking pride. Like, it's just fucking terrible. It's so bad.
Cornball shit. It's why I say it's like we don't bully these people enough who genuinely enjoy this stuff. It's wrestling for imbeciles. It really is. I mean,
I'm supposed to believe that Becky Lynch, the man, is like so scared of Sol Ruka that within 1 minute and 20 seconds, she's just going to throw the referee into Sol and then get a DQ and then run out of the ring because she's so scared of facing Sol Ruka.
I mean, people think this is great storytelling and a good time. I don't understand. I mean, I get it, like get the fuck away from me. If you like there's something like I can't be near you if you like this. Like there's something wrong. It's just really, really, really bad. Some of this stuff is just as bad as the worst of the end events. It really is.
Oh, it is. Oh, yeah.
Like, the stuff they're doing with the Rhea Ripley and Charlotte with the friendship stuff with Alexa Bliss. It's just as bad as anything Vince was doing at the end in terms of just lowbrow, even by wrestling standards, wrestling for imbeciles. If you're sitting in front of the TV, now if you're a kid, I could see enjoying this. But like, if you're a grown adult with responsibilities and you're in front of your TV, like slapping your knee and chuckling and going, that Alexa Bliss, this is great what she's doing. This is so
right.
Like, what's wrong with
Becky's
you?
Becky's done it again.
Yeah, what are we doing?
What a trickster the man is.
Yeah, I mean, come on. I mean, you got to be a fucking idiot if you genuinely enjoy this stuff. So, Becky Lynch, just, she's just cashing the checks. She knows she probably understands she's on the back nine. and Sol Ruka, she just can't get out of her own way. And I think Sol Ruka is, a good example of the perils of their performance center, where they just don't bother teaching anybody or at least stressing the basics, because certainly what makes NXT TV, there are no basics being displayed. Okay. NXT Level Up, yes. But once like NXT, and I don't even think that show exists anymore, but like NXT proper, it's just, they're going, you know what NXT proper is? It's what people say AEW is. That's what NXT has been over the last couple of years. It's what people say AEW is, where it's just people just doing spots. And they're not, there's no psychology to anything. They're doing highly rehearsed spots. That's where the gymnastic routines are happening, not in AEW, NXT. And as a result, these people come to the main roster and they don't know how to work. And then if they can't do their spots like Sol Ruka, it just comes off like fucking amateur hour.
Yeah.
It's a complete mess. She's a complete mess.
And it's also extended to somebody like Tiffany Stratton, too. She's like fucking up left and right, too. And she's somebody who has really cooled off from her initial, obviously her NXT run and then her early WWE run. And those two, they seem like perfect, parallels, because those are two very, very good athletes. Like WWE took very good athletes and got like a lot out of them initially, but never taught them how to actually put together a wrestling match. Not to any of the basics. It was like, oh, you can do this spectacular thing and this spectacular thing, but never ever stress, like you said, what do you do if that spectacular thing doesn't work? What do you do between those spectacular things? Yes, you can do a very good, perfectly rehearsed 15-minute match or whatever, but can you work? Do you know how to work? Can you work in front of an audience? If you fuck up a move, are you able to kind of recover from it? Like those sort of things are very, very important. And for whatever reason, we've had an entire... And fans buy into this too. Like you said, those WWE fans buy into the fact that, oh no, you just go to NXT and that's where you learn how to become a WWE superstar. And it's like, you really? Because there's really nobody that's ever actually like left there that's truly what a bona fide, very good worker, very good, had any sort of longevity or anything like that. It's tough. It is really, really tough to do that. And it's just, those are two great examples of people where the Performance Center would have been perfect to get them to a certain level and then send them somewhere else. Or if you had house shows, put them on the house show loop for 6 months or whatever and get them ready that way. But that's not how they do business. So you go to that warehouse, you learn how to work and work out in the very expensive gym for a couple of years. You rehearse all your matches perfectly with 1,000 times over. You do your spectacular gifable moves or whatever, and then you're ready to go. And then you're all set. And it's never been the case. Like pro wrestling training, there's been a couple ways that it's worked in history, and the Performance Center is more and more proving not to work and not be the way to get these people to prepared to actually be great workers and actually be tangible workers and people that you can push. Because you still look at everybody that's pushed in WWE. How many of those people are Performance Center graduates? I mean, it is very, very few. I mean, a couple here and there, and we don't even know, like the staying power of Omafemi. We don't know what the hell the staying power of Omafemi is going to be. I mean, most of those people are been trained either from another era or trained elsewhere. So.
Well, he's got a great look and he has a yeet,
yeah.
And that's gotten him as far as it's gotten him. The Brock retirement ended up being a farce, which we suspected could be the case.
A little sooner than I thought. I mean, Jesus Christ! Can we?
Well, listen, did they coax him back with a lot of money, or was this the idea all along? Has that been reported anywhere? Because I don't know the answer to that.
I would love for somebody to ask. To me, it feels like they said, hey, Brock, like, would this amount bring you back out of retirement? And Brock took those gloves off the mat and put them back on and said, yeah, that'll work for me.
So the question is, now does he work a 50-50 feud with Obafemi, and which totally wipes out everything they accomplished at WrestleMania? For the money they're paying Brock, you would think that's probably going to be the case. Is Brock coming back to just get squashed by Obafemi again? It'd be a bold choice. I can't see that happening. I don't think that's how this is going to play out. I think Obafemi is now in a 50-50 feud with Brock Lesnar. And even if he goes over in the end, that's far less of an impact than what you gained by him retiring the man at WrestleMania. Right. Look, I know people think it's harsh and it's maybe even they think it's a bit. Rich, this company sucks.
It fucking stinks. It sucks
it's a
shit.
Terrible pro wrestling. It's awful. There's nothing enjoyable about WWE on any level whatsoever. It's just bad. It's all bad.
And we praised. They had there was no better thing to do at WrestleMania than have Obafemi go out there on ESPN and decimate Brock Lesnar and retire the guy and leave the ring. And we talked about it the night of. And I wondered and I worried, was this really an Obafemi? We're putting Obafemi over, or are we just kind of telling the story with Brock? I didn't know exactly. But regardless, whatever you want to say, that's a good, I mean, if you're going to push a guy, there's probably no better way to push a guy than to have Obafemi go out there, blitz Brock Lesnar on ESPN and win his match and waltz down that ring doing his little yeet and doing his little song while the entire, Allegiant Stadium dances along with him. That's perfect. Yeah. And 2 months later, we're just back to the same shit. That sucks. That's fucking garbage. And there is not enough people calling it out. Not enough people. If any other company on earth did this, if Bryan Danielson got retired by Jon Moxley,
whoever, name someone.
Yeah,
by a new guy. A new guy they're going to push, like a hot new act, right? In AEW, pick one. Last
year, Speedball Mike Bailey or whatever, fucking retired Bryan Danielson.
Well, that's an awful.
That's a terrible, but whatever.
You get the idea.
Yeah, anybody,
a hot new star.
Even if it was Jon Moxley, even Jon Moxley retired Bryan Danielson, and then 2 months later, Bryan Danielson came back and fought Jon Moxley, like. Everybody would bury that. They would bury it even more though, like you're saying, if it was a young guy and it just got it's
the comp is if it's some hot young new star that you're trying to push and get over. Yeah, it's
it's shit.
It's a horrible company. Like even the simpleton, the stories that can only appeal to simpletons. Even setting that aside, like the booking's horrible, the storytelling, the narrative, it's all horrible. There's nothing good. And these people, they're a different breed. These WWE fans are just a different breed of human. I don't know. They're a different kind of human being. How do you enjoy this?
Kyle Fletcher, somebody put in the chat. That's a great one. Yeah, Kyle Fletcher retires Bryan Danielson in a minute. And then Danielson 2 months later is like, I'm back. All right, let's go. Let's fight.
It's crazy.
Like it would get buried to no end. But in WWE, for some reason, people just go, oh, wow.
I have a real philosophical question for you.
Yeah, what do you got?
Do you think if the letters weren't WWE, and do you think if it didn't have the 50 years of history, and if it wasn't the letters that all of these people grew up with, and it was the same exact product with the same exact wrestlers and stories, but it was some company that started 4 years ago, do you think any of this shit would be over as much as it is now? Because I think just so much of it is the brand loyalty. Because it's bad.
Yeah. Is it still successful? It's still the number one company?
Right. Is everything as over as it is now if this was a startup like AEW is? Everything else is the same. The presentation, the talent, everything else is identical.
No, definitely not. Because there's this idea. There's this idea that because they beat WCW and won the wrestling war, that they and took out the territories, that what they do is right all the time, no matter what.
It is the major leagues.
Right. They are the major leagues, and because they're more successful than any other wrestling company ever, which whatever, you want to argue that, that's fine, whatever. But in totality, yes, they've destroyed the competition over and over and over again. So what they do must be right. So why they can't make bad? They're not. They might have some missteps along the way, but ultimately they always have the right idea because they're the ones that beat the territories, and they're the ones that made wrestling global, and they're the ones that beat WCW, and they're the ones that. So there's always going to be that. So I think that the years of success and defeating opponents has made it where they always get the benefit of the doubt, and then that brand loyalty.
And by default, being the wrestling company that everyone grew up with.
Correct. Yes.
So. Because I just cannot accept that people really think this is good. I can't accept it, Rich, because none of it's good.
That Saturday Night's Main Event was rough.
Oh my God. How can anyone have watched that Saturday Night's Main Event and thought to themselves at the end, that was a great night of entertainment.
Imagine watching Double or Nothing and Saturday Night's Main Event and thinking, That's a good show, that Double or Nothing, but I don't know. That Saturday Night's Main Event really, that really did it for me. Instead, that's the top wrestling in this country here is that Saturday Night's Main Event from World Wrestling Entertainment.
Yeah, it's just fucking. And how can you not be irate if you're a fan of this shit that Brock Lesnar is already back to wrestle Obafemi again? How are you not irate about that?
Right.
How do you not feel like you had the rug pulled out from underneath you? Right?
You shouldn't accept that. That's what I mean. Like, it would not be accepted in any other wrestling company.
No.
But in WWE, it's always, it's a classic line. Well, let it play out. Or, well, I want to see what story they tell. That's a little interesting, but I'd like to see what story they tell. Because again,
or the other classic one. It's just wrestling.
Yeah, lighten up. It's just wrestling.
Yeah,
right.
that classic line.
God,
I mean, it's just looking more and more like the Brock thing was. Let's try to create something since it's on ESPN. Remember, that aired on ESPN. Let's try to create something that gets all of the headlines tomorrow morning, and since it's airing on ESPN. And that didn't really work out because I don't think Brock Lesnar's wrestling retirement became a mainstream news story the next week.
No.
It didn't. I mean, it was a wrestling story that everyone was kind of somewhat skeptical of on some level because it's a wrestling retirement. But it did not capture mainstream media, and I think that was probably the idea behind it. Oh, it's going to be on ESPN. We're going to have millions of people watching. We're going to do this big moment that everyone's going to be talking about at work tomorrow. Brock Lesnar was retired in the ring at WrestleMania.
And they made a big deal out of it. If you remember on that WrestleMania, they made a big deal, and they'd never called him this before, but Michael Cole kept calling him the greatest combat athlete of all time, the most decorated combat athlete of all time. They were trying to appeal to people that don't watch wrestling but watch, MMA or tangentially are aware of Brock Lesnar.
Sports fans or whatever, yeah. Yeah, so, what a mess. And listen, I had some interest in Brock Obafemi going into WrestleMania. I don't have any interest in this. How could you care about this?
No, you had me. You had me at Mania, but and then you gave me exactly what I wanted, and then you pulled the rug, and said "fuck you." No, he's back.
You did the right thing. You did it perfect, and now he's back. And it's like, I like watching Brock wrestle. So from just a cold, fucking in a vacuum level, I guess, since I have to watch this garbage anyway, I'll be into watching that. But I don't have any investment or emotional or anything because it's like, all right, well, now this is just bullshit. This is the same old bullshit now. You pulled the rug out from under me. Why would I care about this? And, Obafemi's going to do his little fucking walk with his hands. And it's like, these people are so easy to please. All you got to do is ball up your fist and pump your forearms and walk to the ring. And these are simpletons. These people are imbeciles. I'm telling you, we don't bully them enough, Rich. We don't bully them enough.
They probably deserve more scorn, for sure.
They do.
They do. And the company deserves more scorn, but they don't get it. So
for being tasteless freaks. That's what they are, these fans. Fucking freak show fans. All right, Cody Rhodes versus Gunther.
All right.
For the undisputed
cool.
Whichever title this is, whichever one this is.
This is actually the non-cup title. No, this is the real one. The fake one's on Roman now.
No, Roman's the real one, right?
No.
Oh,
Roman's the fake champion.
Yeah, World Heavyweight title. Yeah.
We are on a collision course to the title unification, which all these idiots.
And there's like 4 other titles already. Yeah.
But they're going to unify these titles. The Simpletons go, that's a great idea. I'm glad they're finally unifying the titles. It's really good. It's going to be a great moment for WWE. And then
you idiot. You mark.
Yeah,
you
and
fell for it again.
And then when they break the titles up, that's a good idea. They have 2 titles now. I think that's the best idea.
They'll just create another one.
Right.
Oh, that's a good idea. We got another world title. That's a great idea. Yeah. Fucking, I'm telling you, we don't bully them enough. They have no standards. They have no class, no taste. We do not bully them enough.
I don't care about Cody and Gunther. Just move on. I don't fucking care. Who cares? Rhea Jade. I don't know. Jade pinned her at Saturday Night's Main Event. Rhea.
Yeah, but will Charlotte, her new friend,
come to help her? Yeah. What? Why does Charlotte Flair have pigtails and charms all over her gear? She has the makeup of like a 7-year-old in a dance competition.
Yeah.
Her gear has charms all over her and she has pigtails. I don't know what they're going for,
I don't
but
know what it is. It's creepy.
I don't want to know.
She looks like a creep. Why does Rhea Ripley look like a demented mime? Why? I mean, why do any of these people look the way they look?
Right.
They all look like fucking freak shows. Every one of them looks like a freak show.
That's Clash in
got?
Italy.
Oh, that's the whole
that's
card.
It,
All
that's
right.
it. That's it.
Five matches.
That's
Whoa,
matches,
whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That bucket,
Easy there.
That bucket is overflowing.
Cool your jets, Levesque. 5 matches. What are we doing? He's going to get a sternly worded email from Mark Shapiro if he's not careful. 5 matches.
Do you think we're made of money over here? Come on.
What are we doing? Jeez.
You're going to have to fire somebody else.
Yeah. I sure hope you're slashing more payroll here. 5 matches.
That was another great wave of we don't bully these people enough is the most recent firings, and it's like I know Paul Levesque wouldn't want to fire that guy, so it must have been Mark Shapiro and Area Manual, as if Area Manual, a man of is all right. He wakes up and looks at a spreadsheet of the WWE roster and goes Aleister Black, I'm sorry, you're gone. And Paul Levesque, no, you can't take Aleister Black. Paul, I'm sorry, I have to do it. I got it. Like, Area Manual gives a fuck about any of these guys, but these fans just have to have that sort of weird.
Have to have the scapegoat.
Yeah, they always did, and WWE always knew that too. They made Jim Ross the scapegoat in the '90s, and then famously John Laurinaitis for many years was the scapegoat.
Oh, Nick Khan blatantly says, blame me. He says it publicly.
Right.
He goes on the Bill Simmons podcast and says, blame me. I don't care. Blame me for everything. And then they go, okay. And then they do.
He did it. He admitted it. He admitted it. You idiots.
Yeah. Buffoons.
He admitted that he's the one that does the firings, not Paul. Yeah. Okay. God.
50% pay cuts.
Yeah. Clash in Italy. You think Brock Lesnar took a 50% pay cut or 50% pay raise to return?
Right? I mean, what the fuck? I'm
guessing raise. For that man.
Yeah, a lot of people took the cuts though. A lot of people took the cut. Some of them probably wisely.
Yeah.
I mean, the ones that they knew Tony wasn't going to come for him. What are you going to do? What's better, 50% or fucking not making any money?
Or working MLW or TNA.
Right? I mean, and some of these people are well above to where that's going to make it, like if you're making $1.5 million a year and you have a $15,000 a month mortgage and you're the Miz and Tony, there's 0% chance Tony Khan is going to hire you. I'm just pulling a name out of a hat of someone Tony Khan would never hire. And they say you need to take a 50% pay cut, you're going to take it because what you make at TNA or MLW may as well be zero if you're in that financial circumstance. So, I mean, some of them, and TKO knows that. They know a lot of them are going to take it. They gambled with New Day, and New Day told them to go kick rocks, but they have a job waiting.
They have a job waiting for them, yeah.
So that's a completely different position to be in. So anyway, for the name that no one would say a few weeks ago, did you hear anything on that?
I didn't. Did you?
I did, and I'm not afraid to say it. So the name floating around, and I don't have this verified, but the name floating around, and it was one of the ones that we actually speculated on, was Sheamus. That was the one. So
interesting. Okay, but he's a guy who probably was making multiple millions of dollars.
Probably.
And
he
is
doesn't
not
ever do anything.
Right.
Why wouldn't he take it? I mean, I would have taken it too.
Yeah.
But people think that that's the one because the Meltzer hints add up too, where it's like, oh, he's someone who could have bet on himself in AEW. Tony definitely would have kicked the tires on Sheamus.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no question about that. But
and who was signed at a time when they probably thought more of him, which would have made sense 2-3 years ago. They definitely thought higher of Sheamus than they do now because they don't really use him at all anymore. And I think he's hurt right now anyway. So. And he's a guy who was probably making, like you said, a pretty penny. And I mean, I don't know any of these deals or how much money they're making.
I could totally see them not thinking he was worth whatever.
But 50% of Sheamus's contract is probably still pretty fucking good if you're just sitting at home and
high six
not doing anything.
Maybe.
No, I think he's.
He was in the 7-figure range.
I think he was probably in the 7-figure range.
All I know is, look, again, I don't know shit. That's the name though. That was the rumored one that everyone was afraid to say. That's the name that was floating around with Sheamus.
And that's a pretty justified one. If I'm him, and we talked about that during that segment a couple weeks ago, that there are guys that I would have, like the New Day, like they were like, fuck off, I'm not doing that. But there are several guys in that roster that, had I been presented that, depending on how much I'm making, 50% pay cut at whatever. What point am I at in my career, and what do my other job prospects look like? And that is where, if you are presented that, you might, And Sheamus, he would fit as one of those guys that I wouldn't be. Like, there's some guys I would think, oh, come on, man, have some fucking pride. But if I'm Sheamus, I'm like, whatever. Cares. At that point, like, should he go bet on himself? Yeah, is he good? Yeah, maybe he's like, I'm 48 years old. I'm not going to work my ass off to. That's why I speculated Kevin Owens being one of those guys too, because it's like, I'm in the place where I want to be.
Yeah.
I'm tired. I'm old. Body's broken down.
If you've done a good job saving your money, I mean, might not be that big of a deal.
Yeah, right. That sucks, but it's better than,
making zero.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Or hustling in the indies or whatever, which is.
I mean, this is not handing it to ISIL. Let's be clear. I mean,
no.
This is not handing it to ISIL. TKO shouldn't be doing this, but so TKO does.
They're going to.
UFC gives people jobs for life, and then TKO takes over and fires them all.
Yep.
Whether it's Chuck Liddell, whether it's Forrest Griffin, who not only did they get rid of him, they moved him to Power Slap, where his job was to catch people who got knocked out.
Is that really what they did with Forrest Griffin?
He was doing that for a while, yeah.
Oh, God.
He was one of the guys who would stand behind the person getting slapped in case they fell over, so they wouldn't bonk their head and die.
Did they at least, announce that it was Forrest Griffin?
No, people just saw it was him. Like, look, there's Forrest Griffin.
They didn't say that's former UFC legend Forrest Griffin. It was just, people just said, wait a minute, is that Forrest Griffin? They just did the Leonardo DiCaprio gif and went, wait, that's Forrest Griffin.
Listen. I'm not a Power Slap watcher, so
really?
Maybe,
okay.
Maybe they name the fucking catchers. I don't know, but I mean, he was doing that for a while though, because they had all these guys with these ceremonial jobs for life, guys that were important to the growth of the company, and TKO just fired them all. Just like, why are we? Someone looked at a spreadsheet and said, why are we paying this Chuck Liddell? Who is this? It's Chuck Liddell. He's a UFC legend. He helped build the company. What does he do exactly? He's a brand ambassador. All right, well, he isn't anymore. Fire him. And they got rid of these guys. They got rid of them all. That, it's just what they do. I'm surprised they haven't been more aggressive in cutting WWE.
Yeah, I kind of thought they were. I thought they'd be more of a bloodletting, to be honest. Tamina Snuka, again, the aforementioned Tamina Snuka, but again, The Rock's on the board, so he might keep Tamina alive. But yeah, I am surprised there hasn't been more of a bloodletting in that company. I mean, Vince would fire more people on a regular basis than these guys. So that is kind of interesting. All right, so that is. I am done talking. Well, I guess we're not done talking.
No, we're not.
We're not. We're not. I look, because just looking at it, I forget. In my head, I still look at those three letters and think, AAA, but I forget they have a general manager now, and that it's just WWE. What do you call it? WWE South? WWE Raw South, essentially.
Raw South of the border?
Yeah. That's all AAA is now. But they got a big show this Saturday. Mask versus Mask. The El Grande Americanos going head to head.
Sold out or will be sold out. This is quite arguably the hottest program in the world.
Yeah.
Pro wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's if you watch these shows, these fans, they're not hot for it. They're molten hot. It's like lava for this shit. They love it. They are not, and they never have been. AAA fans, we've talked about this with Cubs for how long now? Years. These are not traditional Lucha Libre fans. These are your WWE fans, for lack of a better term, in Mexico, who just, they love AAA, and even when it was at its worst, they love the fact that WWE is involved in AAA, and they have no problem with an American guy and a European guy pretending to be Mexican guys having a mask versus mask match with their friends in their corner who are also pretending to be Mexican. I find the whole thing obnoxious myself. Now look, this has gotten over with fans in our circle too. Like a lot of people are really into this. I personally find it obnoxious. I'm not into it at all. I think it stinks. I think it's corny. I think it's insulting. It's not what I want in my pro wrestling. It's certainly not what I want in my Lucha Libre.
I was going to say, not what I want in Lucha, but certainly what these people want.
if it was a comedy mid-card match in an American company, you could almost, that'd be something different. But I find the whole thing obnoxious. But it's red hot. They had the hot pull apart on last week's TV when they're not supposed to. They're not allowed to touch in Mexico. They can be physical in America, but they can't be physical in Mexico. So the Chad Gable fake Mexican was trying to taunt the Axel Dieter fake Mexican with the T-shirt with his girlfriend's face on it.
Yes.
Maybe that's the same thing the guy in the elevator did.
Yeah, maybe.
He ripped open his shirt and it had a
that
face
to be
of his girlfriend on it.
Was that in poor taste or in great pro wrestling tastes, trashy pro wrestling taste to be like, this guy who just got arrested for assaulting somebody over somebody talking about his girlfriend. Here I am now trying to taunt the guy with a picture of his girlfriend.
Yeah, I think the whole Ludwig Kaiser thing is a whole big nothing. I mean, he got in a little scuffle with a guy. I mean, boys will be boys. Who cares? I mean, I really don't think that's a big deal. I don't think the court thinks it's a big deal because they're letting him travel internationally to do his job and all of that. This weekend at any bar in your town, some guys are going to throw some fists at each other, right? I mean, I'm not downplaying assault. I'm just saying I don't get the sense that this story is that big of a deal. He felt the guy insulted his woman, and he's a young guy full of testosterone, and he fucking took a swing at him. I mean, it could happen to the best of us. I really don't think it's a big deal. To answer your question, do I think they were playing off of that with the angle? I think they were. I mean, it seemed pretty on the nose, didn't it?
Right,
when he showed the T-shirt, it's so. Anyway, it's a red hot match, and it's going to be mask versus mask. It's going to fill the building. And look, if you want to watch pro wrestling with a lot of heat, I guarantee it's going to have a lot of heat.
Fucking molten.
Yeah. So, and again, free on YouTube because. They named Rey Mysterio the GM of the show because, of course, we have to have a GM because it's Raw South. Because it's Raw South, and they're trying to get a media rights deal. And they don't have one yet. And an American media rights deal. Obviously, they have one in Mexico, and so for that reason, you're just able to watch this shit on YouTube until they do. So
yeah, the match itself, I mean. It's Ludwig Kaiser, it's / Axel Dieter versus Chad Gable. So, I mean, it's probably going to be pretty good. But I would say I would temper the expectations because you're probably going to get 1,000 run-ins during the show as well. Because you have many different Grande Americanos running around, these other Americanos running around, and Rayo, and there's the fucking Steve-O. I don't know. Every time there's just like every time I watch, there's a new person, the new white person under a lucha mask that is being presented as a part of this group. So I'm sure all those people will interfere, but so the ceiling on it being like a great wrestling match is probably pretty low because they're going to wrestle for 16 minutes and then a bunch of people are going to run in. Mm-hmm. But like you said, it's going to be red hot and the crowd's going to go nuts for it. And I'd imagine that the Ludwig Kaiser Grande Americano beats the original Grande Americano and unmasks him, right? Like that I seem impossible to believe that Chad Gable wins and they unmask Ludwig at this point.
I don't know. It's WWE, so you never know. Who knows what Mean Mark the Undertaker has up his sleeve?
What Pete Dunne and Mark Calloway have cooking.
Yeah.
So I did get a note, which, by the way, by the time most of you guys listen to this, the Cubs fan preview, luchablog.com preview will be up on voicesofwrestling.com for this show. And in the email, it says, quote, "I'm not a gambling person. I'm also not a financial advisor. I saw an aggregator post that Grande Americano was only a minus 500 favorite. I know you can't make much money on those odds, but I would bet the limit on Kaiser Grande Americano keeping his mask if I were a gambling person. If they unmask that dude on this show, the AAA booking crew should be charged with arson for burning the promotion down."
The people will go fucking insane if Kaiser loses. He's right about that. So it's fucking WWE though, it's like, I don't know. They're always trying to swerve you and everything else. Look, he should win, and he probably will win. And I agree with everything that you just read there.
Mm-hmm. But that preview about voicewrestling.com for you guys in a little bit. But yeah, it's not a story for me, but I also, there's a weirdness that I have with the story is I appreciate that it's working and it's pretty simple. I mean, it's kind of simple pro wrestling in a lot of ways. I think it's dorky and dumb and I don't quite get it. Like, I I see that it's working and I appreciate that it's working. I just don't get why it's working. Does that make sense to you? Like, I just don't understand why people like this so much.
Also, they come in, they buy the company, and they immediately push a bunch of white guys. I mean, just that.
But they have masks, though, Joe. They're white guys in masks.
Yeah. All right.
Does that do anything for you? Traditional lucha libre. I love it, Corey. This is lucha libre.
Yeah.
As we know it. This is it. Traditional lucha.
Again, I just find it obnoxious, but I find almost everything WWE does obnoxious.
Yeah.
So this is nothing new.
No. How could it be? You also have, for the Latin American title, El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. defending the title against El Hijo del Vikingo. So,
yeah.
Does this mean we're going to get Dorian rolled on and his guy's is such a silch. Yeah. Zero charisma, but demands to be on television. I love it.
Doing his Ben Stiller impression.
Or is Ben Stiller doing a Dorian Roldan impression? We don't know.
Who can say?
Yeah. I'm guessing Ben Stiller's older than Dorian Roldan, right? Let's see.
Yeah, he's got to be. He's got to be at least 15 years old.
Let's confirm this. It's dead ringer for him. Because I'm looking at a picture of Ben Stiller. It's just a dead ringer. All right, Ben Stiller is 60.
Right.
There's no way Dorian Roldan is 60, but
he's probably like 45 or something.
I'll at least check real quick. I don't know if I know his age. He's born in 1984. So yeah, he's a very, very young fella. 41 years old.
Is Ben Stiller...
Jim Ross Dorian rolled on a young kid.
Yeah.
This kid here, he's done a lot of good stuff here in AAA, this kid here.
Is Ben Stiller now the same age as Jerry Stiller was on King of Queens?
Oh, that's a great question. Let's find out.
Jerry Stiller was born in 1927, so I think the answer is no. What year did King of Queens debut?
Oh, God. King of Queens would have been like 1990. I don't know if it was early 2000s or if it bumped into the... I'll pull it up. Debuted in 1998. Okay, I was wondering if it was late 19... So 1998.
Well, so no, he was what'd I say, 1927?
Yeah, 1927.
No, not even close. He was 71 then.
Okay.
All right, so not even close. It was worth a shot, though.
It was worth a shot. And the thing with Jerry Stiller had the thing where he looked... Jerry Stiller had the thing where he looked the same... When he was 45, he looked exactly the same until he was 89.
He looked the same on Seinfeld as King of Queens as he did. He kind of had that I'm always 65 look.
Great character on both shows, though. Just tremendous character on both shows. He's one of my favorites. One of my all-time favorites.
Yeah, fantastic. That would have been a real time-bending moment if Ben Stiller was the same age as Jerry Stiller. Well, he's the same age as Jerry Stiller was on Seinfeld, if you want to look at it that way.
Yeah, because Seinfeld's debut is, 92? 91, 92?
No, 89.
Was it 89? Oh, wow, okay.
I think so. But I don't know when Jerry Stiller joined the show.
Oh, that's a different question. Because he wasn't there day one. He was probably early seasons, so I would say maybe not.
Seinfeld was 89.
Oops. Sorry.
What?
No, people just heard a click from a ding as I was searching for someone's name.
Let's burn a lake. When did
I can find this out? No,
Stiller. I use AI so much. I use it so much. Rich, you would be so disappointed. I use AI daily. I use it so much. God. When did Jerry Stiller join? It's good for basic easy. Look, there's certain things it's so convenient for. When did Jerry Stiller join Seinfeld? 93. So what year did I say
1927. 1927.
Do the math, Rich. You're so
in my head.
He was 66.
Okay, so we still got a little bit of time. We're getting close.
He said, "In my head."
Get out of here, you fucking maniac.
In my head.
What am I, Rain Man? Yeah, like Goodwill Hunting? Get the fuck out of here! No.
Oh fuck. Yeah. So all right, not even there yet either. All right,
close though. Close.
He's getting close. Christine Taylor though, hubba,
still
a dime.
Working. Oh yeah,
still a dime. That Christine Taylor. Let me tell you,
better with age, I think.
Listen, that's because you're getting older.
Yeah,
you're starting to notice that. Like you look at some of these older broads, and you're like,
Oh yeah, all the time.
All the time, right?
Yeah.
All the time. Yeah.
I'm going to retract my better with. I think she had a peak. She's not quite there now, but
you still would.
Oh God, of course, yes, of course, yeah. Early 2000s though was her peak. I'd say.
Yeah. He's still out kicking his coverage, though. There's no doubt about that.
Oh, yeah.
He was out kicking it then, and he's out kicking it
yes.
now.
Well, he's funny. Funny guys. Joe, you might know a term that's, funny guys. It works, they do well with
this
the ladies.
term you speak of.
I don't know
it.
No.
I mean, humor does work. Being charming. Is Ben Stiller funny and charming?
I bet.
I mean, I'm no Fabio. I was always able to pull.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
There's got to be something,
I'm no Fabio. I just thought about that reference that, like, nobody, I mean... Like Fabio, but no, I know there's a certain generation that locked in. Exactly what you mean with "I'm no Fabio," but I just think that all the time that there has to be somebody that's 20 years old that listens to our show and it's just like, what are these guys talking about? Like, what the fuck? Who's Fabio? Like, what?
The beauty of
but
it.
I hope that they look it up. You know what? I hope that you research it and learn about Fabio.
I hope they're all Googling Fabio and Mackie Sasser. I hope that's what's happening.
I forgot you made a Mackie Sasser reference earlier.
Listen, this is my day to day. I can't bottle it for the show. I mean, this is what I do. I'm talking to my wife. I'm making these references. I don't know what to tell you. This is what comes out of me. I don't.
Did he ever figure it out, or did the yips completely ruin him? I think he was able to overcome it, right? I thought he was
Mackie Sasser. Well, I mean, half of the New York Mets baseball intelligentsia listens to this show, so they'll probably answer.
Yeah, they'll clue you in. Yeah.
They're, let's see if I could find this quickly. Nah, I'm never going to find it. I don't know if the Yips ended his career or not.
All right. So also on the show, Pagano and Cycle Clown defending the AAA World Tag Team titles against yet another white duo, the War Raiders of Eric and Ivar.
Been building this for a number of
they
weeks.
They have really been building this for a long time.
If you're Eric and Ivar, I mean, you're just thanking your lucky stars that they're booking you down here because, that's as Ari Emanuel is running that finger down the sheet of names. Right. You got to think that these guys have been highlighted at some point with the with the yellow marker. You know what I'm saying? So,
I love the idea of Ari Emanuel printing out the list of the WWE roster. Looking at it, all right. Puts his readers on, gets his highlighter.
He's getting Levesque on the phone now. As I understand it, we have a fella named Eric,
right, with a K, Erik. Yeah.
What does he do now? He's down in Mexico with Mark at the moment, and that's saving him. That's totally saving these guys, because they're down in Mexico with Mean Mark the Undertaker.
Global brand, the War Raiders, the global brand.
Yeah. They're currently working abroad, and that saves them. You can't cut them at that point.
Right. So hopefully they win these tag titles. Not too. I don't think so. And then this is like it's going to be 2 hours. Is this an hour or 2 hours? Just an hour, right? Is this just their normal hour long show, or is it 2 hour?
They bend it. Sometimes it's 1:15. Sometimes it's 48 minutes. It's flexible
because we only have 4 matches on this part, but they're going to do a taping and then it'll be on the next episode as well. But this is the big one.
They're going to split these up. Is what they're going to do. Okay, you're not going to get all these matches on the same show because they have Bailey, La Catalina, and Lola Vice versus the Las Toxicas, and they also added Ray Phoenix is getting a rematch against Laredo Kid because Laredo Kid cheated and Rey Mysterio, as the new GM, said that Ray Phoenix has to have a rematch. So,
actually, it looks like the women's has been bumped to week 2, I think.
Yeah, I forget how they're splitting them up. But they're
Laredo Kid, Ray Phoenix is on week 1, and every other match we talked about is on the first week. Laredo Kid and Ray Phoenix on the first week. The women's tag has now been bumped.
Well, something else has to be on the second week then, because they're not going to do 4 matches week 1 and then 1 match week 2.
Yeah, so far that's all they have announced. So I don't know.
Well, it's going to be. Well, they're not going to do 4 on week. Are they doing 4 on week 1? I don't think they're going to do 4, because the mask versus mask match has to get a lot of time. I'm sure it's only 3 matches. Either way, the mask versus mask match is this week. Mm-hmm. That's 100%
That's the big
locked
one.
in.
That's the big one.
Yeah, the rest, they're going to split up between the 2 weeks.
Yeah, the other stuff doesn't really matter all that much. I loved on this week's AAA on Fox, parentheses, Latin America, JBL without any, because he does this with everybody, and they do this throughout the episode, especially in AAA. They do it more than they do even on their main roster. Ray Phoenix, one of the greatest luchadors of all time. Did you know that?
Yes, I was aware of that.
One of the greatest JBL. Ray Phoenix, God, I tell you.
Yes.
Corey's one of the greatest luchadors of all time.
Yes.
It's like, really? Are we sure Ray Phoenix?
They tell you a lot. I'm aware of that. Yeah.
Right. This guy's the greatest that has ever been. I tell you, Corey, one of the greatest luchadors ever. It's like the whole. Everybody's the greatest. Everybody. Ray Phoenix. Ray Phoenix, one of the greatest luchadors of all time. Like, do we have to say that? Does the show hinge on that just absolute bullshit statement about Ray Phoenix being one of the greatest luchadors of all time?
No.
It's fucking stupid. Dumb show.
If you put everybody over, or you're really putting anyone over.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah. So that's the AAA show.
Yeah, it is.
Mean Mark, Booker of the Year. Mean Mark Calloway.
Listen, you joke, but that's going to be who they push for.
He's going to get a lot of votes, yeah.
That's who they're going to push for. With Jeremy Borash getting none of the credit.
All right.
Why is that? Isn't he down there with Mean Mark?
Yeah, Pete Dunne. Yeah, Pete Dunne's down there. Jeremy Borash is down there, yeah.
You know, I would think that Jeremy Borash is really the idea man here, I would think. I don't know. I'm not sitting in on the meetings. Now, we know that Mean Mark the Undertaker gave the motorcycle gimmick to the now released and injured El Phantasmo.
Oh, that's right. They did release him. I forgot they released him, yeah.
Yeah, they injured him with a torn bicep or whatever. And now we know that motorcycle gimmick was Mean Mark the Undertaker's idea, that for sure. But I don't know that he's the driving force behind the rest of this, right? I mean, who knows? But it's funny, though, that he's down there fucking... It's like you can't write anything off in wrestling as a possibility at some point in the future. You just can't. It's just such a wild fucking business.
Yeah, there was a Flagship Plus a couple weeks ago that I did, which was there was a tweet, there was an Undertaker tweet that I just couldn't fit. It was like I saw this thing and I was like, imagine how weird things have. Okay, so here it is. It was the WWE Twitter account saying, as announced this past Saturday at hashtag WWE Backlash, at Lucha Libre AAA will hold its largest annual event, hashtag Triple Mania, across 2 nights for the first time ever this September. Triple Mania will take place, yada, yada, whatever. That is then quote tweeted by at Undertaker with the blue check mark. It's with his hat and his hair, and it's like dark or whatever. And it goes 2 night period, 2 locations period, hashtag Triple Mania 34 will be epic. And I was just like, oh my God. And then it's retweeted by Lucha Libre AAA Worldwide. And I'm like, imagine ever telling anybody that what's going to happen is WWE is going to announce Triple Mania. The Undertaker is going to quote tweet it. And then that's going to get retweeted by the AAA Twitter account. Like, what the fuck? What timeline are we on? What happened here? How did how did we get here? I don't know how we got here, but we're here. Someone in the chat room said, is Lola Vice going to roll her hips? I would imagine she will. Indeed, in that match with It's Bailey and La Catalina and the Toxicas. I bet JBL is going to make a lot of horny references to the Toxicas. And then,
Yeah. Probably.
That'll happen. That'll happen for sure. Beyond that, who knows? You'll have to tune into YouTube or AAA on Fox, parentheses, Latin America. All right, Joe. MLW is back. You don't believe it, but it's true. MLW it's true. It's true. They are back this Saturday, 2-hour premiere of MLW Fusion, even though it's the return or / the new version of MLW Fusion, but it's finally back. The world of MLW does not stop except for the 5 months where it stopped. But other than that, it never stops. Other than that, it always goes. And we got a hell of a card set up for this MLW show. So we have Trevor Lee versus Austin Aries. Shotzi versus Priscilla Kelly. I mean, that's a big match. I've been building that for months. Shotzi and Priscilla Kelly. The debuting Zamaya will face Carolina Cruz. Diego Hill will face Adam Brooks. The Good Brothers will face the Coffee Brothers. Joe Coffey and whatever the other one's name is. What's the other one's name?
Mark.
That's right. Mark and Joe Coffey versus the Good Brothers.
Well, they have their music, though.
I don't know. I don't think they do. I think they have new music, which is a bummer. Hammerstone will face Bishop Dyer. Scarlett Bordeaux will be in action. Matt Riddle will be in action. A Killer Cross press conference with Scarlett and Danny McBride on hand. This is Danny McBride will be on hand.
Okay.
And also the secret origins of Don Gatto will be revealed. It's a lot.
So,
it's a stacked show.
Is this new footage or shit that was taped?
No, this
4
is shit
months ago?
taped 4 months ago. Yeah.
So this is ancient footage.
This is stuff from.
This is like the deep sea scrolls of MLW.
Correct.
Is what this is.
Yeah, this is a shit from February, I believe.
All right. You expect me to watch this and review it? Call your shot. What else we got going on this week? Okay.
Also, oh my God, this was taped in January.
Oh, for God's sake.
January. Episode of Bishop Dyer was from January 29th, 2026. That's going to be tough. That's going to be tough to, man, yeah, that's tough.
Well,
it's a long time ago.
Now, is this going to be on YouTube every week at 6:05?
Every week, YouTube at 6:05, but it will also be on.
Why are you talking about Freebie or Freebie or
VEEPS? I'm talking about VEEPS, not free, not Freevee, not
Freebie?
Tubi,
Not Crackle,
None
of those.
Not.
No.
Have you ever gone to, like, have you ever stayed in an Airbnb and you go to like one of the smart TVs and they have all, because like at my house, I never go to like the smart TV channels or whatever because I'm like, I have my cable or whatever. But you go to an Airbnb and you're like, what are all these? Like, Freevee, Hoopla, like what is this shit? The Roku channel? No, I'm not watching the Roku channel.
This shit?
You know?
And then you go
Fubo. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah. And then you do, like, if you do decide to watch something, it's like, oh, totally free. There are commercials every 48 seconds.
Right? Yeah, you watch Freevee. It's
every
TV
48
for
seconds.
free, and you're like, oh, all right, cool, yeah, great. And then it's just midway through somebody talking, it goes to the same fucking Crest commercial you've watched 8 times.
The
like,
same one
God.
over and over for apartments.com, and just over and over and over, and so much Jeff Goldblum that it's ridiculous. It's unwatchable. Totally unwatchable. So is that what Veep is?
VEEPS. So I did this on the Flagship Live, but I think it would be very good if you and I also review the press release sent to us directly from the media team at MLW. So, all right. Los Angeles, California, May 26, 2026. Because we got to let people know what VEEPS is, and I want you to know what VEEPS is. Okay. Major League Wrestling, parentheses MLW, and VEEPS today announced a new partnership that will bring weekly wrestling programming to fans worldwide via veeps.com/MLW. Feel free to jump in anytime you have a comment about VEEPS.
Yeah, sure. I'll get right on that.
Starting May 30th, fans can tune in every Saturday night for new episodes of MLW's weekly flagship series, MLW Fusion, featuring marquee matches, special events, and exclusive digital content, creating a consistent destination for wrestling fans on VEEPS. Programming will be free to viewers worldwide, with VEEPS audiences receiving access to limited edition merchandise drops, giveaways, and special offers available only during premiere streams.
I Googled VEEPS while you were talking.
Yeah.
And I tried to click the little link that brings you to the website that gives you a summary of facts of what they are. And I got the warning from Google, do you want to proceed to this dangerous website? So that's a bad sign. One of the first results when you Google VEEPS is VEEPS a legal site? So that's bad sign number 2.
Great. That's not great.
Okay, so there's a lot of bad signs here when it comes to VEEPS. Another result says, what is VEEPS from Walmart? Which, I don't know. It just says VEEPS is a subscription service that hosts live and archival concert films. It's something like $12 a month. I don't know why Walmart is worked into this. This is a weird fucking site. I think it's just for concerts.
So here, I'll read the about, and then we can go back to the press release about VEEPS. This is per the press release here.
Power through that warning from Google, huh? Okay.
No.
It is from the press
directly.
release.
That's
Okay.
directly from MLW PR.
All right.
VEEPS is the world's leading streaming platform for live music and entertainment. I don't think
it
it's not.
isn't. You're a liar. It's not leading in anything. This thing isn't leading in anything.
Where fans connect with their favorite artists through live and on-demand concert, comedy shows, and more. Launched in 2018 by Joel and Benji Madden of Good Charlotte fame, VEEPS has streamed performances to millions of viewers worldwide for thousands of artists, including Billie Eilish, Bob Dylan, Brandi Carlile, Chris Stapleton, Coldplay, Foo Fighters, and the Kings of Leon. VEEPS has been named a Fast Company World's Most Innovative Company, nominated for an Emmy, and holds the Guinness World Record for the world's largest ticketed live stream performance by a solo male artist.
So what is MLW doing on a concert service?
I don't know.
Do you want to play the anthem as bed music for this segment?
Not really.
No, you don't want to do that?
No.
Okay.
I hate those guys then. I couldn't stand those guys at the time. Still don't like them.
Okay. I thought it'd be interesting. You could layer that in underneath.
No, not a fan. Not a fan.
Okay.
Was that the one that was in the one Madden game? That was or was
Anthem?
Lifestyles
Yes.
of the Rich and Famous? Okay, it was the anthem. Yeah.
This is the anthem. Throw all your hands up. Yeah, that one.
Was that Madden 04?
Don't want to be you. Don't want to be just like you. I could sing the whole thing if you want. That was the one in Madden. Yes.
Yeah. Was that Madden 04? I want to say it was 04.
Probably like, I think it sounds 04-ish.
Yeah, it sounds like Madden. Because Madden 04 was, I played Madden 2003 and Madden 2004 the most. So it's on one of those two, I remember, but I don't remember which one of those.
I'm thinking, and it's crazy the things your mind retains. I'm thinking it's 04. It just feels like 04.
It does feel like an 04. No, I think it was an 03 actually, because 03. Let's see. Okay, 04.
Let's kill a lake. All right.
No,
let's see.
I can do it without killing a lake.
I got it. Too
God
late.
Damn
Too
it.
late. I dried up a lake. 03.
Yep.
The headline track on 03 was the anthem. By Good Charlotte.
Yeah, there's always that bet. I remember that. Because, Madden 04 had Blink 182 Feeling This, The Roots. Pump It Up. Joe Budden, Pump It Up. I remember that. Also, Nappy Roots Around the Globe. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
That Madden 2003 soundtrack, I'm looking at it now. God damn.
Man.
Video game soundtracks used to be pretty
Yeah,
great.
they get
that one.
into your
That
brain.
I played Madden 03 the most of any of them, I think. I bet you probably did too. So,
Yes.
Oh yeah, Andrew WK Party Hard, Good Charlotte the Anthem.
Yeah. He married well, Andrew WK.
Who did he marry?
Oh, you don't know?
No.
Tits McGee. What's her name?
Gotta be more specific. Sydney Sweetie.
No, the other Tits McGee.
Kat Dennings. Kat Dennings. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought she was talking about Katy Perry, and I was like, no, isn't she banging the fucking
she's
Canadian
banging the
Prime Minister?
Canadian Prime Minister
Yeah.
guy.
Good for him.
No, Kat Dennings.
Kat Dennings. Good for her.
Kat
Good for
Dennings. Yeah, he's partying hard.
Yeah, he
Kat
is.
Dennings.
Yeah.
And those boobies.
Good for him.
Partying hard with them boobies. Absolutely. Remember he let the fucking Progress guy just use his song royalty free?
Did he really? Good for him.
Yeah. Yeah. He's like, fuck it, use it. I don't care.
He let Smallman do it, or
No, Party Hard was the fucking thin guy that became a teacher.
Oh, Dennis. Eddie
No,
Dennis.
was it Eddie Dennis or was it there got to be a Brit in the chat.
Yeah, help us, Brits.
Who used okay, hold on. I'll
don't
the link
link
again.
for no,
Who used
not
Party
for this
Hard
one, not for this.
as their entrance music
Oh God.
in Progress Wrestling. Let's see. AI mode. Got to click the AI mode. Eddie
don't
Dennis,
worry.
I was right.
Don't
the first
worry,
time.
you don't have to click the AI mode anymore because
Yes,
they're gonna nuke Google search to only have it be the AI mode now, so you don't have to worry about it. You'll get your way.
It skips me a step.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eddie Dennis.
okay.
Eddie Dennis and Mark Andrews as FSU had later used it as well.
Yeah.
So
All right, good.
I should have trusted my instincts. What the hell were we talking? Oh, Good Charlotte.
I don't know. I'm just thinking you're just talking about
VEEPS.
Tits McGee.
Yeah, whatever. I couldn't think of her name.
Hey,
we
you know,
got
those
there.
things-
It
those-
got
those-
us there.
Those things got her a lot of money, man.
Do you think she doesn't know?
Oh, the whole premise of the entire show. That entire show was the blonde, skinny one was dumb, and the other one had giant tits. And that was the entire show. Every joke on the entire show was, you're dumb and I have large tits. That was the entire show.
Yeah.
The entire show.
And she was very sassy and sarcastic.
Yes, yeah.
With her boobies.
And I liked it. And I married a sassy, sarcastic woman with large breasts. So it worked.
And every other joke was about her boobies.
Right. Yeah, the whole show. The whole show.
She's not like, don't look at me. She knows. She knows what's going on.
They know. Look.
She knows.
I didn't bag the nurse because she was hiding those things. Trust me. She made it very, you got them, use them, and they work.
Yes. Use them.
We're talking about VEEPS is what we're doing.
VEEPS.
Beyond the weekly Saturday night series, VEEPS and MLW will partner on quarterly premium live pay-per-view supercard events featuring title matches and tentpole moments throughout the year. So we're back. They're not going to be on YouTube, I don't know, or maybe they will, but VEEPS is going to have premium live pay-per-view supercard events. So you're going to have to get on VEEPS.
Doesn't seem like a good fit.
You're going to have to get on VEEPS at some point.
Doesn't seem like a good fit.
So the thing and I'm not going to read the rest of this press release because it's just interminably long. The thing with VEEPS is I was wondering why anybody would ever watch MLW Fusion on VEEPS because it airs live 2 hours earlier on YouTube. And everybody uses YouTube and nobody uses VEEPS.
Right.
So why would anybody start using VEEPS?
There it is on the schedule, May 30th, 6 p.m. So that's airing at the same time.
Oh, did they switch the schedule? It's airing at the same time now?
I'm looking at the VEEPS schedule.
You're on veeps.com/MLW?
No, I'm at veeps.com/schedule. And on May 30th, right after a Brandy Carlisle concert from 2022, is MLW Fusion. A new era begins, 6 p.m., May 30th.
So on mine, it looks like it says 8 p.m. on mine.
Mine says 6 p.m.
What the fuck?
That's bizarre. On May 30th,
May
right?
30th. Brandy Carlisle's at 6 and Major League Wrestling's at 8.
Are you on incognito and it thinks you're on the fucking Newfoundland time or something?
I don't know. I'm gonna put the link in the chat. VEEPS is gonna get the most traffic they've gotten in years.
Right.
And I want to find out
what time it says for people.
Because I have Brandy Carlisle. All they show is this is the new Access.
A lot of Brandy Carlisle.
This is the new Access. Because remember Access, whenever wrestling wasn't on, it was just like what was the rock and roll show they would always advertise?
I can't remember.
It was like Sammy Hagar's rock and roll or something like that. Yeah, it was just like, did they show anything but this Sammy Hagar rock and roll thing? But this appears to just be they just show old Brandy Carlisle.
Yeah, and then June 6th, 6 p.m., MLW Fusion, 2 title fights, 1 violent night.
See, mine says 8. So that changes everything with my VEEPS, because I thought VEEPS was airing after.
June 13th, Cross vs. Riddle 2.
Ooh.
June 20th, Choose Violence, 200th episode special. So there you go, 6 p.m. all across the board.
Okay, so no, paragraph text in the chat says 7 p.m. Mountain, so 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Pacific.
What does that mean? What's it say for him?
That's what he said. 8 p.m. Central.
What? It just says a time. It doesn't say Central or... Brother, just click the link and tell me what time it says.
Right.
Next to Major League Wrestling
EST.
on
just,
June 6th.
We need to click VEEPS. Go to veeps.com/schedule if you're in the chat room and let us know what don't
scroll down to June 6th.
Yeah. And let us know what it says.
Or May 30th or whatever. And what time does it say on the left there under the Brandy Carlisle concert?
So Dan Snyder says 6 p.m. Shining Wizard says 6 p.m. Yours says 6. Mine says 8.
Says 6. Yeah.
The Shermanator says 8 p.m. Eastern, but I want to confirm that it just says 8.
There's no Eastern here. It doesn't say that.
Perfectly. So much clarity. This guy says 9 p.m.
It says 9 on his?
I don't know what's going on.
What the fuck is happening here?
I don't know. VEEPS.
So we got some people it says 9. No one knows when this show is on.
Paragraph text says 7.
I don't think VEEPS said. Yeah, no. There's just.
Does MLW? Let me see if MLW.com tells me when I can watch this fucking show on VEEPS. I'm not
and
watching
if you
it on
click
VEEPS.
it, you have to put in a password and all
right,
this.
so from the horse's mouth, right here, I'm looking at the Hammerstone Bishop Dwyer graphic here. It says Major League Wrestling this Saturday, YouTube, 6:05 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
VEEPS, 9 p.m. Eastern.
Wow.
Which would be my time, the time I'm telling you it's going to be on.
Yeah.
That shows on my thing. And BN Sports at 10 p.m. Eastern. So again, why would anybody watch this on VEEPS?
Why would any one person waste their time waiting for it to air on VEEPS?
Except for the exclusive merchandise drops or whatever. Also, people are saying it does give you a time zone at the top of the page, but I don't see that on mine.
Yeah, mine has a time zone at the top of the page.
Mine says CDT US.
Mine says PDT US.
Why are you on Pacific, brother? What's going on over there?
Why are you asking me? Ask VEEPS why they're giving me Pacific time.
Are you on incognito to get to VEEPS?
No.
Oh.
No, I'm not in incognito. I just went to the goddamn site. It says PDT.
Wow. Okay. Well,
6 p.m. That's happening to everyone else too, it looks like. It's weird.
It's all over the place. VEEPS.
6, 7, yeah, that'd be 9 Eastern, right?
Yep.
Well, I'm going to have to listen. I was all out of sorts for that Brandi Carlile concert that I was going to.
Now you know.
Now I know.
You had to cancel plans, but now that you can actually do the plans, yeah, you're good.
Right.
You can get home in time and watch Brandi Carlile's 2021 concert.
As long as I don't miss her playing The Story, I'm okay. I got to get in time for that.
Oh, you got back-to-back. So on the May 29th at 8 p.m., you have Brandi Carlile 2021 Gorge encore viewing, and then the next day at 6 p.m., they have the 2022 Gorge encore viewing. So you get back-to-back Gorge encore viewings.
Both.
Right. Thank God. I personally like 2021 a little bit better, but I mean 2022 is great too. So
these good Charlotte boys, they got their shit together.
Yeah, they do.
Exciting schedule.
If you go to the website, I don't know if you can because didn't it block you if you try to get to it? Go to like VEEPS.com, like just the normal VEEPS.com. It's like they show all these things and it's like who's watching any of this stuff? It's really weird.
I mean, maybe this is a big site for music aficionados.
Yeah.
And we're not aware of it.
Sure. It could be.
Got some documentaries here. How about Aha, the movie? If you wanted to learn all about Aha, they've got an Aha documentary. That's Take On Me, Rich.
I'm aware. Thank you. I like that MLW's on this. It's like, the best. It's so good.
Such a bad fit.
It's so good. I love it.
Mumford and Sons has one.
Oh yeah. A documentary or a concert?
It's a doc, so you can learn about how they make all their music for horses. their millennial core music that they make. You can learn all about that.
Music for horses.
What defines your generation more than either? Is it Mumford and Sons or is it that pumped up kick song? Yeah. It's one of those two. Is the millennial
the Foster the People pumped up
Foster
kicks?
The People.
Yeah.
Yes.
Probably
even their whole
shit.
Even their whole energy, Foster the People.
It's very.
Because they're like top button guys. They got their top buttoned up on their shirt. And they're playing their keyboard and they're ironically in a band. It's an ironic
they
band.
don't want to be in the band. They don't like being in the band.
No, but they're in a band. And yeah. They're all like waifish. They all weigh 120 pounds. They're top button guys. You know, they wear ugly socks. It's the whole thing. Like, yeah, it was either that or open up a burger joint with a brick wall inside. It was one or the other for those guys.
An exposed brick inside.
Yeah, and string lighting. And they went with
string lighting.
Fries,
pretzel buns and fucking pretzel buns.
Pretzel bun, fries that come in a wire basket that pierce your skin. You're like, why is there a wire basket? Why is it piercing my skin? Why do the fries have goat cheese on them? I don't need goat cheese on my fry. Like, it was
Hold
either
on. I like goat cheese.
It was yes, because you're millennial core. It was either that or that band, Foster the People, and they chose the band. And they all have the same like bowl haircut. It's just the whole thing, you know? And it's either that or the Mumford and Sons defines your generation. It's one or the other. Man,
I'm probably gonna maybe Mumford. Yeah, maybe Mumford and Sons.
Yeah.
But that's a good one. I don't know. I'm gonna have to think. I think it's Jordan Smith. His name isn't. It doesn't show his name as Jordan Smith in the chat, but he's always good. He nailed it with the burger joint.
Yeah.
I can't eat it because it's so perfect. I just had one yesterday. That was just
you did. You probably went to one.
I did.
You went to one, you son of a bitch. The owner came out. He was wearing a little derby. He had a little derby on.
He says
he has a handlebar mustache.
He says the big giant knife stabbed into the top bun. Am I fucking John Rambo? What do I need this knife for? I'm good. Why'd you give me a machete to cut this thing with?
And why? I can't just bite into the burger. I gotta cut it in half for some reason. Oh my God.
That defines my generation. The big knife into a giant, a needlessly large burger.
Pretzel bun.
An
An obnoxiously large pretzel bun burger with a fried egg and a slice of avocado on it. That's with the giant fucking
generation.
knife right down the middle. Oh, God. Tears, real tears.
I'm dying.
Real fucking
Mostly because I was served that exact burger yesterday.
And you enjoyed it too. You took
I loved
a bite.
it. It was great.
You did that little nod after the first bite. You're like, yeah, it's fucking good.
Yeah. Pimento cheese.
Good.
Nice addition to this burger. I'm
Yeah.
glad they added pimento cheese to it.
And it was definitely Mumford and Sons playing on the
Yes.
over the speaker too. Yeah, absolutely. Oh man.
Well, I think that's it. I have nothing else to talk about. I don't think I can talk anymore, to be honest.
I can't believe you still have one open near you.
It just recently opened. I don't know how it's going to do, though. Yeah,
because those guys have all moved on to hot chicken places now. They're done with the burgers. They all do hot Nashville chicken now. Is what they do.
Mediocre. I'll do mediocre hot chicken. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the new play. The burger places didn't work out. Oh man.
A place opened by me that I saw the marquee and it said hot chicken and dirty sodas, and I was like, what, could you be more just generic to like?
Yeah, you can't.
Like, come on.
Yeah,
hot chicken and dirty sodas. Like, did you just literally like, hey Gemini, what are the two hottest things in restaurateuring right now? Okay, great. Yeah,
that's Saturday Night Live, the restaurant, is what that is.
Yeah,
you're just a parody of yourself immediately. Hot chicken and dirty sodas. Yeah, it doesn't lock. You can't lock in more than that. Yeah,
I might go. I might go. It's a fucking. Gotta try it at least. Yeah,
you're gonna go.
I gotta try it at least.
Yeah.
Oh God. Do you have anything else in the world of wrestling that you wanted to talk about?
They're killing it in the chat. Fries with aioli.
Yeah.
The Lumineers blasting in the back.
The Lumineers. That's a good pull. The Lumineers actually might better represent.
Better than Mumford and Sons.
Yeah.
Grass-fed bison listed as a protein option.
I'm telling you, the Jordan Smith guy's great. I don't know if he's a pro. He better be, dude. You better. He's the best guy in the chat. He most routinely makes me just burst out laughing and ruin the show. Grass-fed bison listed as a protein. A chicken sandwich this is not in the chat room, but I'm telling you right now, a thing that annoys me about all these places. A chicken sandwich referred to as a sando. Fuck you.
Yes, a
Fuck
sando.
You.
Absolutely.
If that represents my generation, I don't want to be a part of this anymore.
It does, though. It does.
Sando. Don't make me order a Sando.
You have to say it too.
Fuck off. It's a Why is it a Sando? What makes it a Sando versus a sandwich?
Because it was two guys with a dream who came up with the concept and they want to call it a Sando. That's what it is.
Yeah, the listing things as a protein. Oh, what do you want for what do you want for your protein? Yeah, shut up. You order a salad. Oh, do you want to add any protein to that?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's either the grass-fed bison or the free-range chicken is your options for the proteins. Your free-range chicken.
I would hope that bison's grass-fed. What the hell can they feed these bison?
Yeah, it's redundant. Like, of course it's grass-fed. Right. It's one of those redundant food things.
Someone said Sammy is worse than Sando. I don't think Sammy's worse than Sando. I think Sando's the worst.
They're both pretty bad.
Yeah, I think Sando. I don't know. That annoys me a lot more.
Yeah.
Why is every restaurant this way? Well, luckily they're all going out of business. So, like you said, they're not really around.
I'm legitimately shocked you still ate at one. Like
it just opened. It's a brewery that just opened around, which is not a boom industry either right now. But good for them.
Definitely not. Did that have a giant knife in the bun?
It's so perfect. It's so big.
Giant knife. It's an oversized knife, comically oversized knife.
And they give it to me. I had a fucking baby at my table, and I was like, I was like, you can just take that right now if you want.
Yeah,
I don't really want to have it near my 7-month-old baby. I don't need a machete next to my baby, so you can just take. I'll just eat the burger with my 2 hands if you don't mind. But
I eat at hot chicken places all the time.
I mean, it works.
All the time. There's like 3 and I rotate them. I'm like, I want some hot chicken. Like, I can't drive past one without pulling in and just like getting a tender to eat on the way home in the car. I have to stop. I fall for it every time. And I try to fight it. I'm like, Joe, don't do it. You don't need the extra 280 calories or whatever it's going to be, the fucking salt. I'm like, don't, and I pull in. My body's just muscle memory. I just pull in. I'm like,
you get a dipping sauce with it, or you just go straight?
It's one tender. I just get the tender and I just fucking house it while I'm driving home. I just because I can't help myself. I'm passing by. I gotta stop. You know, the Dave's Hot Chicken has the drive-through.
Yeah. There's not a Dave's near me, but there are Dave's. So there's not one in my immediate area, but there's ones that I'll pass all the time, and every time I pass them, it's an immediate like, I better just get a 3. I better get a 3-piece while I'm here, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
oh, you go crazy. You get the 3. All right, yeah.
You just get one. You get a single tender, and then
I get like a snack. Yeah, I get the snack. I just because I'm not. It's not a meal. I'm not. It's not meal time. It's like, and I'm not even hungry.
They'll serve you a single tender.
Yeah, they sell one tender.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. They sell one tender. So I just go to drive-thru. I get my one tender with the second to highest hot because I'm not trying to prove nothing. And then I just fucking eat it with my bare hands like a fucking animal. When I get back
lick your fingers and off on the road again. Yeah,
fingers, and that's it. Yeah.
What's a single tender? Is that like a $4 transaction you're doing here?
It's something like that, yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
Don't embarrass me. Let me see. Dave's. I'll tell you right now.
I just didn't know you could get a single tender. If someone in the chat says, I have Zaxby's here, it's better than Dave's. That's a different vibe, though. Zaxby's is a different vibe.
Different vibe. No, different vibe. Let me see how much the
a single tender. Yeah, that
single tender costs for you here. It's probably like $3.95 or something. I don't know. I just hand them my card and I don't even fucking look.
It's just a crazy order.
You know, the thing with these websites, too, I don't need our story, the fucking video that plays.
Right.
Okay? I don't fucking need it. I just send me to the fucking menu. That's where everybody wants to go. I don't want to put my zip code in every time. I don't want to install your app. See, now I'm annoyed. And now I don't even know if I want to continue on with this. All right.
No, just bail. I think modern websites and modern companies, the our story and...
I mean, for fuck's sake already, huh?
I get that with recipes all the time. You look at the recipe and it's like, my grandfather was in World War II, and I'm like, just tell me how to fucking make the sweet potatoes. Like, I don't care. I don't need your fucking life story.
They want you to scroll through to pass all the ads, is what they're doing when the recipes. You're kind of
yes. I'm waiting for the jump to recipe button to show up.
Order ASAP or order for later. I'm not even really ordering this, so the trick's on you. All right, let's see. They got all these drinks now there too. New at Dave's. I don't care what's new. This is such a pain in the ass.
See, this speaks to the modern internet more than anything else. How much does it cost to buy a single tender? And it is.
Yeah, I mean, I just pull in, I say, give me one tender, and they fucking give it to me, and then I eat it. I don't know what's happening with all of this now. This is very hard.
Dave's Hot Maz?
Here it
what
is.
Hot
All right,
Maz?
I got it.
Okay.
Single tender. No, I'm going to get mocked for this now. Why'd you make me do this? Now, to be fair, it does come with a slice of white bread, pickles, and a dipping sauce.
Okay. All right.
$4.69 I'm paying for that single.
Okay.
$4.69. They're going to make fun of me, Rich.
I'm paying $4.89 over here for one of those.
Oh, okay. So you look it up on yours?
Yeah.
$4.69 is what I'm paying. So
that's a pretty sad looking order. I can't lie. You don't eat the bread though, right? That just gets tossed to the side.
The bread goes directly in the garbage.
It looks like garbage bread. Yeah.
The bread is like I can't handle the heat. Well, then just order one that's not as hot. Just order one that's not as hot. Right? Like, why are you doing that? You could order a slice of bread for 49 cents. You could do that too. Or a potato roll for 99 cents. But I'm not doing that. Yeah. They have but I got like 3 different hot chicken gimmicks here. So they all trap me.
All right. I think we're done here. I tried to look up if anything else happened in the world of wrestling while we were doing this show, and I don't see anything, so we'll just move on.
Our story. We donate X amount to... I don't care what you donate.
Just give me the fucking tender.
Give me the food.
Give me 5 pickles and a single tender, all right? Let's get on with the transaction.
Charge me $5 for a single piece of chicken.
Right. Because I have no self-control. I have no fucking self-control.
No self-control.
Just want a little bit of heat in my life, just a little bit of fun in my life while I'm driving the kids around. So just give me a fucking tender and move on. All right, that is it for us. Again, as we mentioned, flagshippatreon.com for both reviews of Double or Nothing. Bunch of different Flagship Pluses. A brand new Why You Should Watch. My Takeshi Morishima series about his Ring of Honor World Title run. Plenty of stuff available for you guys. Thursday Dynamite reviews. All that stuff available for you at flagshippatreon.com. Also, voicesofwrestling.com. Make sure you check out that website for previews, reviews, and columns. 30 Under 30. Our yearly 30 Under 30 project should be launching on Monday. So we'll talk about that probably next week on the Flagship. But 30 Under 30 launching this Monday on voicesofwrestling.com, so make sure you go there. Voice of Wrestling Podcast Network, and of course, our Discord, voicesofwrestling.com/Discord. Make sure you jump in there and join the conversation there. Not just talking wrestling. While we do talk a ton of wrestling and all different wrestling companies and all of their own channels, and every little channel has their own little vibe, also great sports discussions as well. Great time to talk NHL, great place to talk NBA, hoops, a lot of hoops heads there, baseball. Obviously, when the NFL gets hot and heavy, there's tons of NFL talk there too. So plenty going on, and music and games and everything. So I'm sure there's comic book. I know there's a comic. I muted the comic book channel, so I'm not sure if anybody talks about comic books. But
the comic book channel.
Yeah, I don't know. So hopefully there's not anything nefarious going on in that channel because I don't know. I don't see it, and I never go in there. So
much like the Joshi channels, you have to keep an eye on it because you never know what's going on.
Right. Yeah. I luckily there's a couple people that will send me a DM every so often. They're like, this person's like saying this weird shit on here. So, and I'm like, all right, well, what's going on in the Marigold channel? I better check this out. You know,
always the Marigold.
Yeah, let me crack my knuckles and see who's up to one in the Marigold channel now. So
always the hat guy fans causing problems in the Discord. Every time.
Every time.
Just can't be normal about the hat man or his shitty promotion that's failing.
Yeah.
They just cannot be normal about it.
Never. But the few times I do have to jump into the Marigold channel, you got to take care of business sometimes. But anyway, that's voicesofwrestling.com/Discord to join that. So, all right, that is it for us. That is Joe. I'm Rich. Talk to you next time. Take care. Bye.
Mom, can you tell me a story?
Sure. Once upon a time, a mom needed a new car.
Was she brave?
She was tired, mostly. But she went to Carvana.com and found a great car at a great price. No secret treasure map required.
Did you have to fight a dragon?
Nope. She bought it 100% online. From her bed, actually.
Was it scary?
Honey, it was as unscary as car buying could be.
Did the car have a sunroof?
It did, actually.
Okay, good story.
Car buying you'll want to tell stories about. Buy your car today on
Carvana.
Carvana.
Delivery fees may apply.
Most people don't realize how much their personal information is being bought and sold every day. Data brokers are making billions, pulling details about you from public records and the internet, and then packaging and selling it, usually without your consent. That's how your information lands in the hands of scammers, spammers, even stalkers. It's why you get endless robocalls and why ads seem to follow you everywhere. That's where Aura comes in. Aura actively removes your data from broker sites and keeps it off. They also instantly alert you if your information shows up in a breach or on the dark web. But Aura goes beyond data protection. With one app, you get a VPN, antivirus, password manager, spam call protection, dark web monitoring, and even up to $5 million in identity theft insurance, all backed by 24/7 US-based fraud support. Other companies might sell just credit monitoring or just a VPN. Aura gives you all of it, together, at the same price competitors charge for just one service. Start your free trial today at aura.com/remove. Protect yourself now at aura.com/remove.
Hi, I'm Andrew Rich, and if you're like me, you look at the state of modern wrestling discourse and think, wow, what a cesspool. That's why I'm here to tell you about Music of the Mat Remix. That's right, your favorite wrestling music podcast is back with a new format, where I bring on a guest and we play songs related to wrestling-themed topics. It could be a wrestling reference, a wrestling concept, a wrestling pun, things of that nature. Now you might be saying, Andrew, that is a very, very tenuous connection to pro wrestling on a wrestling podcast network. Is this just an excuse to hang out with your friends and talk about music and ignore the rest of the wrestling landscape? Yes. Yes, it is. So listen to Music of the Mat Remix on the Voices of Wrestling Podcast Network, available on Apple, Spotify, or your podcast player of choice.